Try that in a bit. Once.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Jerry hits it well out towards left center. We see it. Oh, you be kidding me.
On Sports 1440.
I'm on the third. Oh, baby. There's one. There's two. Perfectly done.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Runner goes on a fly ball to deep left center field. That is back, and that is very gone. Way back into the bleachers. Oh, man. His 8th home run of the year is a 2-run shot. And the Padres take an 8-3 lead.
Thursday afternoon as we are coming to you live here at the quarry at the Mark Spector Charity Golf Course. So hope you're having a wonderful day. It was a beautiful day for golf today, no question. Lovely outside, and can't complain about the weather when it's been as wet as it has been. Shout out to everybody here, and they're raising a lot of money for Sports Central to get kids playing in games, which for many of us, if you had the opportunity in your life as a child to play some games, you just know how awesome it is to be part of a team. You know what? You probably remember certain games, certain moments. Maybe you're lucky enough to win at certain different ages of your life. But the one great thing I find about sports is it just it has us all good memories of playing sports. You know, I could think of soccer games and basketball in junior high and high school and lots of hockey at different times. And it was awesome, man. So that's what Sports Central does, is it helps kids get in the game, and they raise a lot of money here. So kudos to Spec and everybody. It is the Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And of course, get in. They got the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials. Of course, tonight, $34 million in the OG of lotteries, Lotto 649. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. I'm Jason Gregor, Connor Howling. Back at Sports 1440 Studios. Declan Cougar running everything down there as well for Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Twitch. So, fellas, Con Man, how you doing?
Doing good, Jason. Glad you guys got some nice weather for this event. The smoke held off a little bit. I can't say for sure. I wasn't out there, but looked like you guys got pretty good weather for this one.
Yeah, can't complain. It was it was hot, but I'm not going to complain about that. And you know what? With the hot though, the mosquitoes stayed away. Like the first hole, you know, you tee off around 8:20, and if you got off the green, oh my goodness, it was a gong show. So, you know, luckily you're in a scramble, so you got at least one ball on the green usually. And I couldn't putt to save my life today other than once, but I did hit the green a lot, so thankfully wasn't in the fescue. Because man, it doesn't matter how great shape the course is in. Once you get into the bush or the fescue, man, the mosquitoes are just nuts. But once it got really hot out, there's really no mosquitoes. So that was the benefit of today. No mosquitoes. It was hot. It was sweaty. I've had 4 bottles of water, Cons, and this is how hot you can tell. You haven't been in the washroom yet, so it's just you're sweating it out. So it's good. We're gonna have some guests join us live from down here a little bit later on. Nick Holden, who's a director of player development for the Vegas Golden Knights, he will join us down here. Got a few other guests that we're going to line up, especially in the first hour before they get to the dinner and everything else. Coming up later, Tyler Yaremchuk will be by. We'll get to some stats of the day for you. Jason Strudwick. We get to our roundtable at 4:00. We got Spec Owen Newkirk, as the saga known as Jason Robertson is officially over. He signs a 1-year deal for $12 million. Now, what's interesting about this is Dallas has offered $12 million for months. This offer has been on the table. Now, he obviously elected to go for 1 year because there's $9 million more in cap space next year automatically as the cap goes up to $113 million. But then there's, Tyler Seguin's contract comes off the books. So he's obviously not going to be a $9 million player anymore. So I'm sure Robertson looks and says, hey, if I have another really good year, well, then next year I can cash in and get a long-term deal at a higher AAV. So he does the 1 year for $12 million, stays in Dallas, and the Stars probably, I would say, fairly happy with their roster right now, I would think. So we'll see where it goes. But it was a long time for, really, at the end of the day, not much really changed. He got $12 million, which had been on the table for a long time. He was looking for $14 million, didn't get it, and ends up taking this, which obviously is fine. So there you have it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us. You can always email us, Gregor, sports1440.ca. Elsewhere in the world of sports, I heard it in the update. They're talking about the triple play last night, something you don't see very often. The Jays, oh my goodness, like it's bordering on unwatchable right now. Like they're lucky that they had such a great year last year. They had lots of season tickets, and everybody's purchased a lot of their seats, and the fans are still going to the games. They're having a great time, and that's I guess that part is awesome. But man, you look at the Jays right now, Cons. They're tough to watch. You almost kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'll go mow the lawn. Maybe I'll do some yard work. Oh, you know what? I think maybe I could go out back and look at there's the lawn. I got to drain it somehow. Like, honestly, you almost do anything other than watch them right now, because it has been a complete just reversal. They can't hit to save their life. It's painful, to be honest. Painful.
Yeah. I mean, and yesterday we saw it in that first inning, right? You get the bases loaded with one out. You have an infield pop-up. You strike out. Gregor, I'm at the point where I'm getting excited about Max Scherzer Buffalo Bison's statistics. That's what's happening today. I'm not even looking at the Blue Jays anymore. I'm looking at Mad Max down in AAA. It's dark times right now for the Toronto Blue Jays. You're 100% right.
Yeah. The Edmonton Elks roster is out, and obviously there is some lineup changes from last week. We'll start on the offensive line, as O'Donnell is out, and Corte is going to play center again, but Brett Boyko off of the 6th game, and he will play left guard. Played tackle last year. He has played guard before, both in the CFL and in the NFL. So he's going to line up at guard, and I think if he has a really good week, my understanding is O'Donnell, it's a 1-week injury. Also, him and his wife are expecting a baby anytime. So I guess there's always a positive is now I don't know if he would have been able to get home anyway, but let's say you're healthy and you go on the road and then something happens and you go into it, you never know, never guarantee, but this way he's going to be home and will likely be there at the birth of his child, which is obviously very, very important. Other news, very quietly, Cons, did you notice a change in the secondary? As Williams is out as the starting halfback, and Johnson's going to get his first start at the halfback position, number 32. Williams has just been okay. He's been okay. So they make the change there. Also, we've got Mogensen comes in for Pearson. So Mogensen will help out on special teams. That's another change. On the D line, it looks pretty status quo. Taylor, Fox, Brinkman, and Carney, and then the backups, Meyer, Smith, Curtis, Hubert. Those guys all rotate in. On the other offensive side, you have the other change will be at the receiver position, as Mathis is out and Kettle draws back in. So those are the changes for the green and gold heading into a huge game tomorrow night against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And man, I can't wait for that game. I'm fired up to see it tomorrow. It's going to be, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's obviously the Elks. There's not a lot of games that have been meaningful for many years. And now every game you look and say, hey, Edmonton's a good team. And this is as an opportunity for them to play well and potentially, move even 4 points up on Saskatchewan for first place. So it is, that is a huge, huge, I think, opportunity for the green and gold. Bordering on Greg's. I've checked out a long time ago. The offense is offensive from PP. That's fair. That's fair, dude. You know what? You're wiser than me. It's hard. Like, a lot of times, like, it's hard to sit down and watch a full baseball game, especially all 162 of them is what I meant. So, you kind of, you float in and out, and sometimes like, oh, hey, I want to see them hit or whatever. Right now, it's kind of like, well, why? It's like, I don't want to watch singles or infield bloopers, because that's kind of what the Jays are. Like, there's just no pop. Like, we talked about it going into the All-Star break. Fernando Tatis hadn't done much. Look at Fernando Tatis. He used the All-Star break to find his swing. The guy's now got 3 home runs and the longest home run in MLB this season last night. There's a guy who used the break to his advantage and said, okay, I got to find my swing here. Meanwhile, you got Vlad Guerrero, no pop. The Jays offense overall, they've kind of sadly become a singles team. And when you're a singles team who doesn't play small ball and doesn't steal bases, guess what? You're a singles team that's not going to win very much. That's just how it goes, man. There's not much else you can say about it. They're just it's not good at all. It's painful to watch. Meanwhile, the Jays can't hit and the Red Sox can't lose. They had their game rained out last night, so they fired up for a doubleheader today, and boom, they win 6-3. They've won 15 in a row. They could go for a franchise record 16th win tonight if they do it. So you look at the Jays, and not only are they struggling, the other teams around them, Boston just decided, okay, you know what? We're going to wake up. And now they're 4 games back of the Yankees suddenly for second place. They're still 6 back of the Rays. Now, the Rays right now are playing the sad sack Jays, so it's kind of an easy win time. But you look at Toronto, and coming out of the All-Star break, you were like, oh, there's a chance. There's a chance. Now, the Jays are now 6.5 back of Boston for the wild card. 6.5. And they got to pass Detroit, Houston, Minnesota, Baltimore, Seattle. I think it's fair to say, and for those of you who said it was done earlier, you were correct. It's over. Now it's a matter of how big a sellers will they be. I was interested by a lot of people saying, hey, yeah, the Jays are out of it. But if Detroit's going to trade Scooble, maybe you should get in on it just because you want them for next year too. It's food for thought, Collins. Food for thought there. But the Jays, hey, they got a boatload of cap, right? They got a lot of money to spend, so they'll spend it. I don't think their tickets are going to drop off that much, right? When you get to the championship, you have a great run like that, you live in a market that big, you're going to lose some fans, but you're not going to lose that many. And the Jays will likely be able to spend big again. Although, here's the question, and Cons, I'm going to ask it to you today. Do you think we are going to see MLB start on time next year?
That is a good question. I'll say no. I'll say there will be a little bit of a delay trying to get things situated. Too much money at stake here. Billionaires versus millionaires. I think we're going to see a little bit of a delay to the start of the season. What do you think?
I don't think it starts on time. I don't think it's a complete cancel of the whole season. It's not going to be like the NHL where they sat out the entire year. I think MLB will miss some time, maybe even half the season. No baseball in late March. I don't think there'll be baseball in April, and May even. It's a question mark, but you might get some, into the summertime. That's my prediction of baseball. It won't be a complete cancellation, but it will be a shortened season by MLB. And it's funny because there's so much money here for both sides to make, and they're gonna. Now, both sides, they're millionaires and they're billionaires. And they're like, well, we could afford to lose a few months because it's not going to bankrupt anybody. Right now, unless you're a player who has, I don't know, maybe you're an NFL player or NBA player who has no concept of money management. But I would like to think that MLB Players Association has been sending out notes to players, plan ahead to save your money because there might not be any checks coming in. So don't spend all of your off-season money. And come in to think, oh yeah, I'll get a big windfall coming in early on next year. I would be very, very vocal about that if I was a member of the MLBPA. And I think you kind of owe it to your players to be upfront and honest about where next season could look like for them. So that's kind of where I was at. I got a lot more texts coming in. Hey, guys, I turned off the Jays to watch Armageddon on TV for the 100th time. P.S. I also have it saved on PVR and have the DVD for Noel. Yeah, well, I see your point. It is right now, you almost do anything else. Like many of you would be like, I'll do yard work over watching the Jays right now. Right? We could do a whole fill in the blank. I would blank rather than watch the Blue Jays right now. Honestly, it's we got to have some fun with it. Hey, Gregor, we go to Toronto every year to watch. It's downright depressing to watch the errors nightly and the lack of offense. No small ball at all, and the D has really let them down. We'll be sad to see Gausman go, maybe Varsho and Bieber too, from Deb. Yeah, you know what, Deb? That's very good. I think there's lots of people that the last few years, you go for a game. It's kind of fun. There's lots of other stuff to do. You enjoy it. But you're right. Like, did you see Jimenez last night? Like, this guy's one of the most sure-handed shortstops, and the ball just went right through him. That Ernie Clement, kind of like a little soft, like off the end of the bat, he's running back, which is like a routine play for an all-star second baseman, routine play. And he can't catch it. It's right in his glove. That's just that. When I saw that last night, I was just like, you know what? All of a sudden, good night, Irene, buddy. The old adage, the fat lady has sung. Oh yeah, she is. The opera is on right now. We are getting so good, Tech. Hey, guys, I would rather watch the movie Melania than watch the Blue Jays right now. I heard that was so terrible. Like, that's when you know you've reached a desperate level, Cons. Now, I know you and Declan are big fans of kind of, the First Lady and reality TV. So have you watched Melania?
No, I did not know that movie was even a thing. Until kind of the late night circuit got a hold of it. Don't think that's when I'll be tuning into.
Yeah. Hey, boys, I'd rather wear jeans at home than watch the Jays from Crotch. It's true. Right. Like, outside of Strutty, who loves his jeans, when you get home, I don't know, man, like, it's like comfy clothes. Lululemon pants, get into some exercise pants. I got a few. I've got these Adidas pants, man. I love them. I love them. The minute I come home, like suit or jeans, they're off. 100%. Quick break. We'll return. Keep sending us fill in the blanks. I would rather blank than watch the Toronto Blue Jays. As we are live, it's the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by playalberta.ca. We are coming to you live at the Mark Spector Golf Classic down at the Quarry, all in support of Sports Central.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why, time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
50, 50, 50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at CanTorque.com. Our tools age better than I do.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
I've got a smile on my face and I've got four walls around me. I've got to.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project. Is their goal from pot lights to electrical panels? The gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.223, welcome back. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks as always for listening. Thanks for watching the show wherever you're at. Hope you're having an awesome day. It is hot out. We'll take it after all the rain we've had. It's nice to get a little bit of a heat here today. We are coming to you live out at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Classic, all in support of Sports Central. And we're going to go to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Spruce Grove Saints got a hockey camp from the 24th through to the 28th. You can go to sgsaints.ca for U9, U11, U13, and U15, U16 players. So you're looking for that warm-up camp right before the season starts. Great place to do it, sgsaints.ca. And we are joined by former NHLer, currently residing in Camrose, and he's part of the development team for the Vegas Golden Knights, oversees the young defenseman in the organization. Nick Holden joins us. Nick, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate it. How was your golf game today?
Up and down, to be expected. I hit some great shots and then just put some in the water or lost a few balls.
Now, you're wearing long sleeve shirt, dude. Like you're saying, man, I just burned too quickly. So even in 30 degrees or whatever it was today, you're going, now, do you wear long pants too?
I am today because I thought the mosquitoes would be worse, but I regretted that decision.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the long sleeve shirt, it's one of those ones that fishermen wear or whatever. I saw the guys landscaping in Vegas. They all had long sleeves on. So I was like, if it works for them, I'm going to try it.
Really?
And
so it kind of breeze pretty
breeze
good?
great, yeah.
Really? Now, it's got a hoodie on it too?
Yeah, that's I think more for the fishermen where they're out on the water. They have these up and they have the face covered and all that stuff. But.
So that's just for the summertime. Like you wear that every time you golf.
Well, I only golf 3-4 times this summer, but when I'm coaching baseball, I have this on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so are you a guy do you like the hot?
No, I hate the heat.
Oh, really? And you're still good for you, man. Like I can't handle it. I'm like, I'm one of those guys that will shut down if it gets too hot. Like I worked outside in the oil field and a farm. It's cold out. I can warm up, no problem.
Yeah.
When it get I used to despise picking rocks in the summertime at the farm. Like, we were talking about jokingly things I'd rather do than watch the Blue Jays right now, and I'd probably say pick rocks in 30-degree weather rather than watch the Jays right now. But that's as a farm guy, you would know that. And so to wear a long sleeve shirt, I respect it. I just is it really light?
Yeah, super light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Breathable.
Okay. How's the transition gone for you from playing to now in development?
Yeah, it happened so flawlessly when I was trying to play my last year. Nothing came about, and Vegas had called and kind of said, hey, we have this position for you. And so I was able to just step right out of playing right into this. And it's been 3 years already, and it's been awesome. I think the hardest part, not playing or being retired, is the routine of everything.
Yes.
And I struggled with that big time. I'm sure my wife could attest to that. Just finding the day-to-day routine of everything was, a bit of a challenge. But 3 years into it, I think I got a little bit of a better sense of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I've talked to so many players, and you feel a little lost afterwards because, from a young age, you've always played hockey. Now, obviously, when you're a kid, it was fun. It wasn't your job. But once you get into major junior, you're pretty focused on, I got to train, I'm playing hockey, and then I'm training, and I got to eat right and all these things. And then suddenly that's gone, right? So I'm kind of getting pushed into it, even though you didn't necessarily have experience of it. Maybe having to learn something made that transition a bit easier because it kind of took your mind off of not playing.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, what it is you're working towards a goal all the time, especially once you, like you said, get into the major, junior, professional hockey. It's like everything you're doing is trying to get better to be better for your goal at the end of the day of playing in the NHL or staying in the NHL or being a good defenseman or player in the NHL. So when that all stops and it's like you get to choose, you have ultimate choice, and that's sometimes you need something to work towards. And so the position that I got there in development was great, but I wasn't in it every day.
Okay.
You're watching video maybe once a week or twice a week, and you travel once or twice a month, but it's not a day-to-day thing. So that was just the biggest thing for me, was just making sure I could do endless things, but it didn't matter if I did something or didn't do something. And so just trying to make sure you had a goal to work towards and figure that out.
So you just got back because Vegas just had their development camp. So you're down there with the development camp, but you got 4 kids, and you're also coaching your own kids during the season. So how do you balance coaching and working for the Golden Knights?
Yeah, my boss with the Golden Knights, Will Nickel, made it clear to me right from the start. He wanted to make sure I was there for my kids' hockey tournaments, or make sure you're not missing important things or big things. They wanted me to be involved coaching and being a part of my kids' lives, because when you're playing, sometimes you got to miss all that stuff. And so you still have parameters, or you got to see you guys before Christmas, after Christmas, stuff like that. But I could book my own schedule and stuff like that. So the flexibility of the job was very appealing, and they've been awesome with me working with that, because I'm trying to coach everybody's hockey teams or their ball teams, and I try to coach my daughter's dance, but they say get out.
They kicked you out of that.
Yeah,
one, eh?
yeah, they wouldn't let me in there.
Yeah, did she kick you out first?
Well, it's pretty funny. Like I always dance around the house and stuff like that, and I always tell her, your hip hop comes from me. That's all my moves, not mom. So
good one, Dad. I love it. Now, the development itself. Now, because when you got into the NHL, there was starting to be player development. So you'd kind of been on that receiving end of it, I'm sure, as a young player. What's kind of like your focus as a player development over the defenseman? Like, do you have individual sessions with guys, and then do you have have an overview with lots of D-men? How's it work?
Yeah, it's funny, even talking to guys around the league that are doing the same thing for different teams. Every team kind of does it differently. For us, I watch one of their games a week, whether it's junior, college, pro.
Okay.
And on, say, a Monday or Tuesday, I'll message them and say, hey, how'd you feel on the last week? And how'd your games go? I watched this game. This is what I saw. And for me, the on-ice stuff, you're looking for trends of things that maybe they're struggling with or things they need to work on. But the biggest part of the development piece for me is really the off-ice stuff. I think being a pro, if you can bring your best game consistently over and over again, that's what you're looking for. So if you can get rid of distractions outside of the on-ice stuff, because all these guys, everybody there is good. And so, yes, you're wanting to fine-tune your on-ice details and stuff like that, but that's going to be the AHL coaches or the East Coast or wherever you're playing that are going to help you with that. The biggest, it's off-ice, trying to, hey, let's find routines, let's control what you can, get your mind right, and stuff like that. So when they go out on the ice, they can do their thing.
Okay. Nick Holden joins us. We are live here at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Charity Classic in support of Sports Central. Nick Holden, former NHLer, of course, now working with the Vegas Golden Knights. When you're in player development, how closely are you watching the big team?
Yeah, so far I haven't had anybody in development in the NHL yet, and so we watch the games at home when we can, but obviously busy, so not catching a ton of Knights games through the season. In the playoffs, obviously kids hockey's usually close to done or done, so catch a few more. But this year was actually pretty cool because a few of the guys, Braden Bowman and Kai Uchaz, who had kind of 2 years ago, they were in the development window or umbrella. They got games this year, and Braden Bowman did really well with it. And so you're almost the proud dad moment where you're like, hey, this is good job, you guys. Like, that's awesome for you guys. So not that I had any sort of help with those guys, but still cool to see them do that.
Well, it's always good because you got to live out the dream. So you know what it means, and it doesn't matter if you play 10 games. Obviously, everybody wants to play 1,000 games in the NHL, but that's not realistic, right? Like, just, if you set out a goal is to get to the NHL, you have to celebrate it. So I'm assuming if you see one of the guys that you helped in player development, when you make sure to take time to just let them know, like, dude, that's a big deal. I know it's only one game, but it doesn't mean that you're done and you're not going to work hard. But at the same time, you still have to celebrate that because it's hard. The majority of guys don't get there.
Yeah, it's such a small group that get the ultimate goal, right, of getting to play a game in the NHL or playing games. So yeah, it's such a cool experience for not just you, but your family, your friends, everyone that's supported you, coaches, all that stuff. So yeah, we were definitely a small part of the celebration for those guys, but couldn't be prouder of them and how they played.
The position itself has really evolved. There's really no longer, like, you're definitely not glassing out. Like, sure, every now and then, but it's not what's taught anymore, right? Like, even the best offensive defensemen have to block shots, and I could have a whole debate over if I think that's good or not. But just developing the position now, like, every guy, which is great, but every defenseman, like, from a young age, hey, you move the puck. Like, I coach U13, and I'm not coaching AAA or anything, but we're tier 1, it's decent. But you're like, hey, you guys make plays, right? Like, everything's changed now for the defenseman, and I find that a lot of your best skaters have to be D-men because you really want them to get up in the play and then get back. It's a lot of times you used to put kind of like the bigger, heavier guys on defense who couldn't move as well, but the game has changed a lot. Do you notice that in how you develop the players?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, it kind of trended, like you said. It used to be Darian Hatcher, who was huge and could box out or hold guys, and then it changed where it got smaller and really fast, and now you're starting to see the big boys come back because they can move as fast as the smaller guy. But yeah, everybody has to be able to make plays now. That is a basic skill that has to be there. You don't have that just simple glassing out anymore. You got to be able to find your option and make a play. Possession is so huge now. And so that's all obviously something I call it kind of like your pass completion rate.
Right.
And that's what one of the things I'm looking for with RD is how many times are you making your play that you're trying to make? And so whether that's making the wrong decision or actually completing your pass, and so that's, one of the things that all D have to do now. But the position has definitely morphed into, you can't just be a stay-at-home defenseman. Like, every D-man you look on all the rosters, they're all adding some sort of offensive upside. And so you definitely you can't just pigeonhole yourself. I'm not oh, I'm just a big stay-at-home defenseman. It's like you need to have more aspects to your game.
Oh yes, it's and that's I think great. As a player, you probably have more young kids who want to think defense. Because as a coach, I know like this year we had 10 forwards, and because there's a shortage of defensemen, so you had 10 forwards and 5D, and I had to make some kids play defense. And sure, you ask first which kids want to do it because you don't want to ruin them. But I had a few kids who did it. And I found that it actually made them better forwards when they went back. Like they learned your thinking. And I do wonder, and I want to get your thoughts. Like, do you think more of us at U9 and U11, kids who just play center should not be like at U9, you should play defense or wing or center and learn everything?
So I've had this kind of argument getting back into minor hockey now. I was coaching a U11 team in Camrose, and the kid looked at me. I was making kids play forward, left wing, center, D, everything. And the one guy he said he was a defenseman. Put him on forward. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost out there. I said, okay, you're a D-man. The guy has the puck in the corner. What do? Oh, I go get the puck from him. I'm like, you're a forward. The D has the puck in the corner. What do? You go get the puck from him. So it's like hockey's hockey.
Yes.
It's just different areas of the ice that you're doing those skills. Yeah. And so I guess as you get older, yes, sure, you progress into maybe a defenseman or a forward. But even that, I think that's even a little bit off, because guess what? In my career, I played forward in the NHL. I was a defenseman, but my coach said, hey, can you play forward? Yeah, I went and played fourth line forward.
Yeah.
We have a guy that we've transitioned from D to forward.
Yeah.
And so it's not like this is a minor hockey thing. You want to have your skill set as wide open as possible, so that when your coach comes to you with more ice time or whatever, hey, can you go do this? Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, no, I can't. I'm a left winger.
Right.
Right. And so when parents have this vision of what their kid, or a coach has this vision of what a hockey player should be, or a centerman or whatever, it's like, I think you're hurting kids' development more than helping them. So
I think it's totally true, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and you might have some better defensive instincts, or you might have, like, I get everybody wants to score, and I know for me, anytime there's like, I would switch kids in games. Like we were in a tournament once, we're getting blown out, so I just switched everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what? We stopped getting blown out, and the kids like they just kind of had fun again.
Yeah.
And we still lost the game because we were down like 12-1, but the second half of the game was way more fun for lots of players. And some of the kids get, hey, could I try that position again? And I just think it's too early when I can only play center, and sadly the worst part sometimes of the parents are oh yeah, no, my kid's going to be a center. That's all he's going to be. I'm like,
well, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely adults making the bad decisions in all this stuff. You let kids just go play, they're going to just go play.
Yeah.
And so
when they go play shitty on the ice, guess what? You're not just a center iceman.
Yeah.
Right. You get back, you're getting up and back. So for player development for you now with Vegas, so you had the summer camp. Now what do you do?
So the next couple months, once development camp's done, it's like you basically have a summer. And then September, I think 11th is when our rookie camp opens up. And so I'll be down there September 10th and then roll right into it. I'll stay through main camp and then into our AHL camp, just because Henderson is right in Vegas there.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're there for a couple weeks. And at that time, you're not doing a ton of stuff. You're just, again, around as a support for them.
Sure.
Making sure, again, trying to take away some of the nerves or the off-ice worries and help them. Hey, this is where the training room is, so they're not stressing about it. Or, hey, I need my skate sharpened. Well, this is where that is. And stuff like that, kind of just helping them so that, again, you want their best product on the ice, right? So
you go to rookie camp then for Vegas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you stay for main camp too?
So I usually, what I had done in the last few years was I went to rookie camp, which is where all our prospects are. And then I'll stay for the first couple days of main camp, because I like to see them up against the NHL players. Yeah. And then I'd come home. This year, because camps, they're also short now.
Oh,
it's a new system, right? And so I'm just going to stay through rookie to main, and then Henderson starts kind of a week after main camp starts. So just stay the whole time and then come home.
Okay. And then during the season, what's the communication? Do you communicate with the coach ever? Do you communicate with management? How does that work?
I just a lot of communication with my boss, Will Nickel.
Okay.
And then I'll touch base with our D coach in Henderson.
Okay.
Yeah, I try and touch base with him once a month at least, maybe a couple months, just to check in. Like, hey, is there anything that you're worried about, or what do you think? What are you seeing? When I go to our East Coast and our AHL team, I'll go on the ice with those guys.
Okay.
I'll be there for a practice. The junior guys, my boss talks to their coaches. I just deal with the players.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really have much to say to those guys, I guess, at this point. But
yeah. So, like, do you go watch? Let's say if they're the WHL and they're playing in Red Deer, they're playing in Edmonton. One of your guys is there. Do you go watch them and then talk to them afterwards?
Yeah. So anytime that I have a couple Western League guys this year, in the last couple of years, I had one in Prince George, and then the OHL I had a guy. So yeah, you'd go in for those guys. Usually you try and catch 2 games.
Okay.
And then you'll just meet with them afterwards and, hey, how'd the game go? I like to start with that, where it's like, want them to self-evaluate, right. And then, okay, I saw it the same, or you're way off, and kind of these are things I saw. So
do you find, are most players pretty self-aware of their game? Like when you talk to them, kind of what they see is similar to what you saw, and then they're just small tweaks, or is there some that are really just they're not picking up what you're seeing?
Yeah, I think for the most part guys are like that. I think sometimes guys, when they're playing really good or playing really bad, that's when they really self-evaluate poorly.
Oh, okay.
And so that's where it's like, if they're playing really bad, it's actually like, yeah, I agree, there was a few of those things, but like you were still doing these things good. Or if they're playing really good and they think they're doing nothing wrong, and you're like, wow, okay, like, yes, maybe that stuff was working a little bit, but 9 times out of 10 you're gonna turn that puck over,
right,
or something like that. So
and Nick, lastly, so do you have like a long-term plan when your kids are done? They're like, okay, Dad, like you've graduated, you're not coaching us anymore. Do you want to get into coaching or management at a higher level? Do you have a plan?
No, I mean, right now my youngest guy's 7, and so we got a few years left. I think it would be really fun to coach, kind of in the AHL or some professional hockey, but the hired to be fired is a real thing.
Yes.
And I don't really want to be moving a bunch like that. So I think if there was any sort of coaching to be done afterwards, was maybe a junior team or something, say Camrose, where it's like, it's junior A, it's still decent hockey. I can be involved right around my area.
Yeah, and you can really help and influence kids, because if you have a good junior coach, man, could be such a monumental boost for players.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see what that league or junior A leagues look like in, say, 10 years, because obviously junior hockey landscape and college, all that's changing and stuff. So maybe there will be a team, maybe there won't be, who knows. But yeah, I think that would be something that if I was going to coach somewhere around home, that I can live at home and then do that still. So
awesome. Well, Nick, always great to see you, man. Thanks for coming out to spend some time helping raise money for Sports Central. We really appreciate it. We'll let you go get some food, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Awesome. That's longtime NHLer Nick Holden. Now he's oversees all the young defensemen in the Vegas Golden Knights organization. We'll take a quick break, and we'll go from a defenseman to a former NHL goalie next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Golf Classic.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The Riverhawks' final regular season homestand is on deck this week. Catch the bobblehead giveaway, a 2K dance party, Margaritaville, and Wizards, Wands, and Magic Night. Don't miss the party. Tickets at gohawks.ca.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Wednesday afternoon, a beautiful, hot Wednesday afternoon, coming to you live at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Golf Classic, all in support of Sports Central. What a fantastic charity. And, man, they're moving into a whole new facility after many years where, you know what, they're going to be able to help even more people. They do a ton in the community for bike drop-offs and everything else, and just a very organized tournament here. So a big shout out to everybody at Sports Central and all the listeners who I know many of you over the years have made donations to it, whether it's dropping off bikes or equipment or anything else. And, you know, to get kids playing sports, it's absolutely fantastic. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And we're going to get to the oil report now, brought to you by Go Auto, with over 17,000 vehicles to choose from, and is your number one place to shop. You're looking for cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it, they got it. 73 locations. Find one near you at goauto.ca. And former Edmonton Oilers, former NHLer, now, of course, part of the Oilers alumni down here golfing today, goaltender Ben Scrivens joins us. Benny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. Well, it's been about a year. You decided to go back to the short hair. No, that you had the flow going there for a long time. It was unreal. It's looking like a surfer. Do you miss the locks?
You know what? Maybe this joke doesn't work as well as I get older, but I'm like, it'll always grow back. And now I'm getting like, maybe that's not true. So it's a little longer than it once was a long time ago, even a couple months ago. But I don't know. It kind of ebbs and flows as far as what my preference
obviously, is. It's been many years since I've had any sort of hair. So, and I love it. Like I'm happy with my cue ball, but I always wondered, like, when you get older and you had, like, because your hair was pretty long a few years ago.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How much maintenance, like, is it noticeably different? Or when you got shoulder length to midway down, you're like, your Vidal Sassoon time is the same regardless, or what?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I didn't know that we're getting into hair care here. I'm probably not the best person to ask, but like, you got to make sure that it's clean. If you're not shampooing and doing your regular like cleaning, then it's pretty obvious that it gets kind of like oily and greasy and like heavy, right? That body
now,
to
did
it.
Struds ever ask for a transplant?
He should. You know, Struds takes shots at me every chance he's on the air, and I keep trying to be friends with him, and I like him, and maybe I got to
Well, if
take
he's
a
not
page.
chirping you, that means he doesn't like
It's
you.
true.
So if he's chirping you, then you're.
True, but I always have to hear it on the radio and on podcasts and stuff like that.
Well, feel free to take shots at him. He's coming on later, so
you know what?
We'll tell you.
Struds does such a great job, with the Oilers alumni. His work with the First Shift program, he's been doing that for a decade now. Influenced so many young kids in terms of their hockey development, and then I get to reap the benefits with Colby's kids and that next stage. As much as I want to tease Struddy and kind of throw some barbs his way, he really does so much for the community here.
Now, when you're playing in pickup games or the alumni games, are you always playing goal or do you play out?
Depends. It depends. If we're playing against other alumni, like guys who played, guys who know, I know like the quality of the game is gonna be at a certain level. Then I'll go in net.
Okay.
There's a challenge in it, right? So
sure.
I played in. There's a couple. There's a game every year in Aspen that the Avalanche alumni run. Any games that the Oilers alumni put on. If Jeff Delorier or Joaquin doesn't want to do it, then maybe I'll get asked. But yeah, I played in the Shoresy games last year. Those were really
I heard
fun.
it was actually. People were surprised that the intensity and pace of the game was a little higher than they were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. They were super fun, and those guys are awesome. So I like playing in those games now. But if we're playing against your average beer leaguer, it's a lose-lose situation for me, because either I play and I get a shutout and everyone goes, what a dick, like what a tryhard, or they score and then it's like, screw you, son. Like there is no winning in those situations. So I have picked up a pair of like 1979 brown leather deer hair
pads.
Pads and gloves, and I've got an SK2000, the old Chris Osgood special. So I'll use those if I'm going to do like a fun charity game. As a bit of a self handicap, like a scratch golf playing with Hickory clubs.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah,
those are things that are damn heavy, aren't they? Almost pull your back out a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I don't go down anymore. You know that. You got to adjust your game for the gear.
Yeah, you're stand-up goalie now.
Exactly.
Like 2-pad stack.
Exactly.
Do you pull a 2-pad stack out ever?
I absolutely. If I throw those on, you guarantee yourself that you're going to see one. I might not stop it, but
you're going to attempt it. Well, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Now, when you watch, like, even the game from when you played till now, and just, the evolution of the position, like the game itself is so more east and west, right? Like goalies, we only had, I think, one goalie play over 60 games last year in Veg Milk, I think it was. They talk about, less games for goalies just because it's that much more taxing. Do you see that as a goalie, or do you think at times we're kind of getting a little soft on goalies and thinking, well, they're like, I wonder if some guys would like to play more. Where do you come out as a former goalie?
I think every goalie wants to play every game, right? Like, it would take something special, like, a nagging injury or like truly being fatigued, seeing your numbers go down for a guy to like be opted out. Maybe if you got an older guy who just knows, his game well enough to know what keeps him fresh. But by and large, everybody wants to play every game. I think there's probably some more work to be done in the sports science as far as the fatigue rate, the load management. I know soccer does a fantastic job with it. So, with the catapults and some of these technologies that are out there, they smarter people than me in terms of the kinesiology side of it, we'll be able to answer that better. But I don't know. I think guys can. I don't want to say they can play more as if they're throwing in the towel, because at the end of the day, management, coaches, they're the ones who are making the decisions about who starts. But I think the guys want to play more. You're also just running into, you've got a lot of good goalies who are fighting for few spots, right? So you're not as tied down to, a 1 and a B, right? There's a starter and a defined backup. That was, you think back to like the Kiprasov era in Calgary, right? Like there was just nobody that was on his level. So every time you didn't play him, you were putting your team at a deficit relative to what your benchmark was. Now that there's just a smaller gap between your starter and the supporting guy, and then you're having more and more teams run with this kind of platoon system that we're going to see in Edmonton this year. So, I don't know. I think there's another aspect that you have seen goals against go up. As far as like a stat for goalies, you've seen save percentages drop quite a bit. I don't think that's because goalies are getting worse.
Well, there's way less shots on goal now, so the shooting percentage automatically, save percentage. I mean, there used to be 30 shots a game. Now there's 27 because, and the goalie will stop it with his glove outside the net. They just don't register to anything where that used to be a shot on goal, right? And so
never for me.
But those 3 shots take you from a 900 to an 885, and you haven't done anything different. It's just 3 shots that you're not facing.
Yeah.
So I think I always try to remind that to people when they look at, because I do think for a while, because everyone, when we went in the dead puck era and goalies were having 930s and stuff, everyone's like, oh, these goalies are way better than the guys in the 80s. I'm like, well, the game's kind of changed, guys. There's not as many great scoring chances. Now there's less shots, but there's more high danger shots.
Yeah. You have, like when I first came into the league, and this isn't like a knock on any of these guys, but you had more of these role players, right? You had the true heavyweights of our time, right? And those guys could skate circles around anybody that in your small hockey world, right? Those guys are all legit players, but just relative to the rest of the NHL, they're not really generating a ton of scoring chances. But they had a very specific role they were filling. You have seen the league transition away from that, right?
Yeah.
It transitioned into the guys like Lucic, like Wayne Simmons, those guys who were two-way threats, but they were like a heavy middleweight, right? They could chuck them and they could hang in with the big guys, but they kind of replaced all of those guys because they could do stuff on the ice as well. They're putting up 30 points or more a year. So now you transition to where we are today, where your fourth line is just young skill guys who are learning how to check, right? I mean, Tortorella's talked about it in his time in Philly, that the NHL is more of a development league than it's ever been, right? It used to be, the Detroit Red Wings system where you were overripe before you even got a sniff at the NHL. Now you got guys coming out of college saying, I'm not going there, I'm not going here. I'm playing my first year in the NHL, or I'm going to go somewhere who will put up with that so that they'll get me 5 years later in my prime, right? So that, I think, that skill, that rising tide has floated a lot of the offensive stats because to your point, there's fewer shots because more goals are going in too. So you're not getting as many rebounds off of the saves.
Fair point.
In part because the guys who are shooting they can shoot. Everybody can shoot now, right? Your third and fourth line guys are still zipping pucks, right? So you don't need as many offensive chances to generate some good looks, and more of those good looks are going in.
Ben Scrimmins joins us. I want to ask your thoughts. The Oilers are going to run a 3-goalie system, at least to start the year. Who knows how long it lasts, but Freddie Anderson, Tristan Jarry, and young Devin Levi. And I just look at, so Freddie Anderson's last 4 years, he hasn't started more than 34. He's played 34, 35, 22, and 16. They're not going to overplay him at his age. He's not going to want to be overplayed, so I understand all that. But a young guy like Devin Levi, who did not play an NHL game last year, was in the American League. Now he requires waivers. But let's say he gets 20 games. Lots of backups used to get 20 games, right? Like it's 20 games, and when you consider that he'll probably get practice, Freddie Anderson's going to get practices off, so he'll have a lot of extra shots. Is that enough, do you think, to help a young guy develop, or where's that fine line in your eyes?
Well, I think that it's a good question. What's going to be the best for his development? The best for his development would be to get the most amount of shots, highest quality, the most amount of opportunities to perform. That's not going to happen. So what is the next best alternative, right? He's going to have to find a way to make a development plan for himself with the goalie coach, with the coaching staff, so that he's on the ice early, he's on the ice late, he's getting the shots where he can. A good 3-man system, there's a very clear understanding about the pecking order, right? Whoever's starting the next game, they get their net, they get as many shots as they want. Like, it's their preparation time. The other guys are splitting the remainder, right?
Yeah.
They're getting the scraps. But even in getting the scraps, there is now like, who's your number 2? Who's your number 3? Right. And if Devin Levi's the number 3 and Jari wants more shots because he's trying to work through some stuff, now you got Devin kind of sitting on the side waiting. Yeah. That's where he needs, you got to be on the ice early. You got to be on the ice late. Movement drills, like there's stuff that can happen and will happen. It probably isn't ideal for anyone. I don't know of a goalie that likes a 3-man system. Yeah. I hated them every time I was in it, but you can hate it, but you're in the NHL and you're getting paid to be a professional and make the most of the situation at hand. And that's what I guess the challenge that faces these 3 guys is, how do you be a good teammate while developing yourself and getting what you need in order to help the team get points when you get a chance to be in the net.
And then the other new aspect is this year there's the extra goalie on every team, right? And you got to travel with them. And my understanding is Devin Levi wouldn't qualify to be that goalie because he's too qualified, right?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
No, you couldn't do it either because you played pro.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be young guys who are, played in the WHL or played college, university. And as a former goalie, like that job at times I think it would be hard. Like it would be fun. It would be kind of thrilling in a way. You're like, man, I'm getting shots from Connor McDavid or Nathan McKinnon, name the team. But they're coming in there and those guys are trying to go bar down every time on a goalie. What type of, if a guy came to you and say, like, you'd have to do it just for the experience, right? Just to say, because you're probably going to go on the road now with these teams and stuff. Like, it would be kind of fun, I would think, for a 20 to 25-year-old.
I think you need the right personality in there.
Okay.
All right. It sounds bad, but you can't have a guy with ambition, with hockey ambition. This is not a position that is a leapfrog into a pro contract somewhere else.
Yes.
Right? This is a guy who's 25, 26. He maybe played in the coast for a year and just wasn't getting an opportunity or found something better to do career wise. But like there can't be any thought that you're going to transition this into, I might get a start here. I might get a chance to actually play and show somebody what I've got. This is truly like I'll tell you off the air the analogy that I got, but it's not a good one. But like you are truly just like a support person.
Yeah, you're a beer leaguer really who gets the opportunity to get shots from Connor McDavid. That's basically the difference.
And you're gonna have to realize too that like you can't be a fan, right? This is where the personality piece comes in. Like you cannot be someone who goes to Connor and said, like, hey man, so what was it like playing in Erie against like you can't be a hockey. We need hockey nerds, but you can't be a hockey nerd because your role is not to be a information gatherer. You're not paid to be a friend. You cannot ask these guys for autographs. Like you're gonna have your relationship with them,
sure,
and you'll get to know them. But like you've got to be a fly on the wall because you are just there to support the group, right? You're truly, I don't think you're going to practice because they've got 3 goalies. You are the emergency guy in case something happens that is like a disaster. Edmonton might be I don't even know what the rules would be if, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but like say the 2 guys that dress for that night go down. Do you have the 3rd guy who can go in or do you have to use the e-bug?
You have to use the e-bug.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to use the e-bug.
Okay.
That's my understanding. So it's somebody who's not on your roster.
Yeah.
Right? Because you wouldn't qualify because the e-bug, there's a certain level of skill that you can't have had before. So it's basically eliminating each team. They basically want each team to have their own e-bug now. And he goes, my understanding is he goes with the team. So he goes on every road trip for that specific reason.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's really interesting. I think whoever gets this job, like you could feasibly, you could have this job for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're paying.
$100,000.
Call it 100, call it 150, like
bad.
whatever, right? Probably getting some benefits. You're probably like, you're going to NHL games, you're traveling on
charter. You're going to get to eat all the food.
But you're sacrificing a career advancement somewhere else, right?
Yes.
But if you get the right guy in this role, right? Somebody who is not a fan, right? Who's not going to bug the players, who has no ambition hockey-wise, right? That this is not a stepping stone into something else, right? Who is just there to like enjoy the game. I want to help the team develop. Like compared to like a video coach, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not getting interviewed, you're not doing press conferences, but you are getting a lot of the grind time, cutting video, preparing for meetings, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. One of those unsung hero positions, right? But like the reality is you got 3 goalies ahead of you who are all on NHL contracts. We talked about Devin Levi having to develop. Like there is no point where you're going to be getting a couple shots here and there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's probably most of the year he's not even going to dress.
Yeah.
Right. He's just going to be around.
Yeah. Like
right?
on other teams where they only have 2 goalies, he'll probably get used way more.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But here in Edmonton, just doesn't seem like that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Which is why you need the right personality in there.
Yeah.
But like, again, if you're that right guy.
Oh, it'd be a great
20
gig,
years.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be a
$2
great
million
gig.
bucks over 20
Like
years.
all the stories that you could tell, right?
But you can't be that guy.
No.
Right?
You could not tell your friends, hey, so-and-so is injured, this or that. Like you can't be that guy who thinks he's going to be scooping at all. Like you would have to
you can't be a fan.
Yeah, you'd have to be part of the organization. You're going to understand that you're in the circle of trust and you can't get outside of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have everybody and their brother. I get people asking me for Connor I'm like, you guys know that I don't know. Like I've chatted with him a couple times. Very nice guy. But like, if I'm getting an autograph from him, it's probably for my kids, like not for, so-and-so twice removed. Right.
Yeah.
But like whoever this guy is and has this like direct contact, you will have to know and like really understand. And like, if you mess this up once, they're going to find somebody else.
There's a lot. The thing is, there'd be lots of people who would want that job.
Right.
There'd be lots of goalies who are like, hey, you know what, man, the dream's over. But now here's just the part to like, it's like you're playing fantasy hockey. It's like you're at a fantasy camp for a year,
right? But
if you can't tell stories,
it's almost like the disqualifying factor should be the guy who wants it the most. It's like
it'll be fun. But I'm very interested to see kind of what they do with the goalie rotation this year and kind of how that plays out. Benny, really appreciate your time, man. I'll let you get in there, have some lunch. Thanks so much for this and continue all the great work with the alumni.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
There you go. That's Ben Scrivens. I'm Jason Gregor. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We'll take a quick break. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC or furnace. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars will avoid the salary arbitration after the high-scoring forward signed a $12 million contract for next season. Robertson, who has 490 points in 456 regular season games with the Stars, could become an unrestricted free agent for the first time next summer. The Blue Jays in action once again tonight, taking on the Rays. First pitch 5:07 from Toronto. We'll join that game in progress following the Gregor Show on our AM feed. Couple games underway right now. Brewers up on the Mets 4-2 in the ninth. Nationals lead the Rockies 1-0. Diamondbacks and Athletics tied at 2 apiece. The Reds trail the Mariners 3-2 heading into the sixth, and in the fourth, Angels and Cards are scoreless. Later tonight, Dodgers taking on the Phillies, Guardians hosting the Twins, Pirates and Yankees, Braves up against the Padres, Orioles meet the Red Sox in a doubleheader. That's game 2. In game 1, Red Sox victorious by a score of 6-3, and it was the Royals over the Giants 5-4. Riverhawks in action tonight again, hosting Kamloops down at Remax Field. First pitch just after 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, live from the Mark Spector Golf Classic. We'll be joined by Tyler Yaremchuk of Oilers Nation, and to get to the stats of the day, I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Yes, it's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury is yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life
shouldn't hurt.
The Brick's 55th birthday bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses, or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses, and don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in. The birthday bash ends July 29th at the Brick, saving you more.
You don't just need property services.
Thanks for watching
you
the
need
show.
problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Experience West of Mabu, the 5-piece Celtic band, and the Celtic Ceilidh Dance Academy as Sherlock Holmes Pub presents the Family Ceilidh on the K97 stage at the Sherwood Park Highland Gathering, Saturday night at 6 in Broadmoor Lake Park. Tickets at SPHG.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Wednesday afternoon. How you doing, Jason Gregor? It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where tomorrow, you check out there, of course, you got the Lotto 649, 34 million for the gold ball jackpot tonight, as well as a guaranteed classic jackpot of 5 million. We got a little CFL Elks action for you on the Jason Gregor Show. Yeah, you can get into to that as well. We'll have a few other more in-depth ones tomorrow for the Elks as well. Also, we will get into a little bit of fun on PlayAlberta.ca tomorrow. A little surprise thing, so we'll tell you about that. We got Yaremchuk coming up in a bit. We got our Stats of the Day, our roundtable. Struddy will be back from holidays. We got Speck, Owen Newkirk. Of course, Jason Robertson has signed on with the Dallas Stars. Is this just kind of like a mutual agreement? Let's do a one-year deal, and then we can go long-term in the new year at some point. There's going to be $9 more million in salary cap for Dallas. Not to mention Tyler Seguin comes off the books. Or was this just both sides saying, you know what? We're not going to last much longer anyway, so let's just go with 1 year and move on. So we'll see what it has to do. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can always text us. Hey, guys, after 30 minutes, I decided to go out and try and cut hay. Buried the disc spine in the mud. Took till 10 to get it out. Still think it was a better evening than watching the Jays. From Steven. Oh, my goodness. Disc spine in the mud. Now, city guys are like, what the hell are you talking about? Let's just say that is some haying issues that you don't want to get into. And I'm telling you that in most years, that would never be a problem. But fields now, I can only imagine how much more alert you've got to be as a farmer in the fields, because everything is just so saturated, at least in where we're at, Edmonton and area. I know that up north, Alberta, it's like bone dry, which is kind of freakish, but we have more water than we can use right now. Like, I wish there was a time where somehow like you could save it, right? And I know that put in a bid, and so next year, if I've said we had you know what, we've got all that water reserved, let's just pull some of it out, and all of a sudden we'll go with it. So that would be ideal. It doesn't really work that way, I guess, unless you got like a big storage bin at your house, then you probably have no do it. Hey, Greg's, I'd rather cut my lawn with no tarp on, no bug spray, than watch the Jays, from Chris. See, that's a good one. I understand it. That's where it is right now. You would rather have the pain of mosquito bites and the annoyance of mosquito bites right now than watch the Jays. It is it's brutal, man. It is brutal what to do. Hey, boys, that Melania text, that might be your best text in a long time from Entourage in Calgary. Oh, it was funny. I agree, because I heard that show was beyond terrible, which doesn't surprise me. Like, come on, how could it be any good? How could it be any good? So it doesn't surprise me at all that people were fired up. Hey, boys, I'd rather get an old school prostate exam than watch the Jays right now. I would rather deadhead my petunia plants than watch the Jays, from Gary. I'll be honest, Gary. I'm not a real big flower person, so I'm not even sure what deadhead, but it doesn't sound good. But I'll get it. I'd get it. Hey, guys, I'd rather sing all by myself at karaoke than watch a Jays game, from Kenny K. Hey, guys, the boss asked if anybody wanted to volunteer and wanted some OT. I volunteered rather than watch the Jays meltdown. Dallas and Fort Sask. Well, exactly. Make a little extra kick. Why not? That makes sense. Makes sense. I get it. Hey, boys, I'd rather listen to a long speech from Gary Bettman. Now, here, hey, Greg's, these long sleeve shirts actually keep you cooler. Blocks the sun out and allows the air to still pass through. Trust me, they're a game changer. I wear mine fishing when I actually want to cool down a bit when I'm working outside, from Braden. Really? The long sleeve shirt keeps you cool. Now, I definitely know that, if you have issues with skin cancer, it makes a lot of sense. I get that. And maybe it's just me that psychologically, when I feel if I have long sleeves on, or like pants when it's hot out, like my dad, we grew up on the farm, and I remember my dad always picked rocks in jeans. And like, trust me, picking rocks, the field's dirty. Didn't matter. I couldn't do it. It was too hot. I'd wear shorts, and I'd wear shoes. I couldn't do it in jeans. And he was I was just like, and he'd wear long sleeve shirts sometimes. I'd be out there like shirt, even when we were fencing, because I hated getting too hot. Now, it's not wise to fence with no tarp on, but I do it every now and then as an idiot teenager, young adult. Did it a few times, got some scars because when the wire breaks, it's not fun. Anybody who's out there, like wire stretcher, our wire, like, oh God, I wish I had a video. If you had like a safety video of how not to fence, we probably would have been there. I used to, because we had the big bucket on our old Massey Ferguson tractor, bucket with the front end loader, and so we'd put a spool of wire around, and I would take a crowbar, put it through the spool of wire, so it would sit across the two bars on our on the bucket. And then I would take the wire and go behind the bucket and wrap it around. So then when you backed up the tire to the tractor to tighten it, that's how you would tighten it, with all the tension. Now, was that the safest? Was there a few times when it snapped? Yeah, there was. But I'm telling you, that was just a different time, man. Like, it was a different time. Now the wire stretcher and everything you had, even when I was older, the ones we got were way better. But I remember my dad and I specifically many years, and probably without it being, so if I was a late teenager, like late 80s, early 90s, oh God, but I had a video of that one. Wouldn't have it wouldn't have, that would have been a winning video on how not to be safe. Just a different time though. I never got hurt. Hey guys, I'd rather drink China Whites with Struddy than watch the Jays. P.S. Don't like China Whites, like Struds. I I'd rather watch the Yankees than watch the Jays from Jonathan. Oh, that's when you know it. Well, now this one's actually good. Hey guys, I'd rather watch the Maple Leafs than the Jays right now. Oh, now this one, how many guys, maybe gals, but how many of you can relate to this one? I'd rather give my wife control of the remote than watch the Jays. Do you sit with the remote in your hand, Connor Halley?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
it's on my side.
Totally, isn't it? Oh, like my son's at the age now where it's like a battle to see who can get downstairs just to have the remote. Like, it is weird, man. Like, my wife's like, you two are idiots. Because I'm watching TV sometimes. I don't change the channels. I don't like channel surfing sometimes. But every now and then I'll be like, why is the remote in my hand? And I just got to let it go. It is a weird thing. Like, Gary, that's legit, man. That's legit. Many guys listening right now and many wives are probably like, yes, that is so true. That is very accurate.
Growing up with siblings as well, I think also led me to that path.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's true. But like I'm a little bit older than you. The early years of my childhood, we didn't have a remote control. You had to get up and turn the channel on the TV. Now, granted, I was on the farm. We only had 4 channels. You didn't change the channel very often, right? Like I remember specifically the first TV we got with a remote control. Now, it's a smaller TV. It wasn't our main one, but still, it was just like, this is unbelievable, right? Like, you used to have it. So it was just channel up or down, but still, it was a game changer. Like nowadays, you got channel back and everything else. And well, first of all, there's too many damn channels. Can we all agree to that? Like it's foolishness. So there's so many channels. Like now you can go on ours and just say channels that I have, and it gets rid of all the ones that you don't have, which is good. Hey guys, I'd rather listen to Lansky's audiobook than watch the Jays. Hey now, come on, Juice. Come on. Hey boys, I'd rather watch a Flames game than the Jays. Hey, I'd rather watch Toby Peterson as the quarterback on the power play than watch the Jays right now. Oh, now this one is funny because now I've never been to one. Thank goodness. But I'm wondering if Connor Halley has. And I wonder if Declan has. Hey, guys, I'd rather go to a gender reveal party than watch the Blue Jays game. I'm sorry, but those seem like the worst. Cons, have you ever been to one?
Pride myself on a couple things, Gregor. Never been to an ugly sweater party at Christmas. Never been invited to a gender reveal party.
So you've never been invited?
No.
Okay.
Never been to either of them. So that, to me, that's a sign I'm hanging out with the right people. And no, that would be no. We didn't even consider doing that for Benny. Wasn't even a thought.
Oh my God! Like, as Declan, Deck, have you been to a gender reveal party?
None so far. I have 2. My first 2 coming up this fall.
You have gender reveal parties this fall?
Yeah, we're making a day of it. Champagne, flowers, the whole 9.
Are you excited about this?
No, not really. But it's one of those things like, friendship obligation type deal. You got to do it. That's how I look at it.
Man, it would be, I'll be honest. It might not be right, but I would judge my friend if they had a gender reveal party. I'd be like, why? What are you doing? Like, now, and I'm all for a get together. Let's just have a party. Well, then just have the party, but I don't need to see the balloon popping or whatever you're going to do to see it. You cut the cake and it's whatever. Like, I don't know why. I just, and maybe I'm a curmudgeon. It's something I can't get behind at cons. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I just can't get to it. Hey guys, I went to a gender reveal party once. It was awkward. The couple was 40. Well, maybe they tried for 10 years. I don't know. I try to find a good reason, but I'm with the Juice. I would have a hard time, man. I would have a hard time doing it. So, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. So, we'll see. We'll come back. Now, between you, do you think your Yaremchuk's been to a gender reveal party, Cons?
Yeah, I'm leaning yes.
Yeah. So am I. We'll find out next if he has on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all pizza lovers at Papa John's, you can get a large one-topping pizza for only $14.99 using promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show on Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only all-in-one play experience. Casinos, sports, and lottery. One account, one wallet, one app. Here's Jason Gregor.
We continue on live at the Mark Spector Golf Classic in support of Sports Central, fantastic charity that does a lot to help kids get into sports. And you can check out the Mark Spector Classic because they have the auction open, so some great prize packs right now. You can even bid remotely. So if you're just listening, you want to check it out, highly recommend it. You got about 30 minutes to get on. They got some sick packages, some great memorabilia. So check it out. Signed McDavid stuff. You got signed Ovechkin jerseys. Not a lot of those floating around right now. And who knows, because it could be his last year. We'll see. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where the OG of lotteries, Lotto 649. You can get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, time now to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years. They've grown, developed into one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province. If you're looking for solar, they're the ones. Commercial especially, they can get you all through the savings, the grants, and more. Check it out, actionelectrical.net. As we welcome in from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff, Tyler Yaremchuk joins us. Ty, how you doing?
I am doing good. Did not love the last segment about how depressing the Jays are. That is not a reminder I need on a daily basis. It's
Dude,
brutal.
there's some funny answers, man. I'd rather watch the Milani movie than watch the Jays. That was that one. And the one, though, that really hit home was I'd rather give my wife control of the remote than watch the Jays. So that one hits home. I don't know why, but I like having the remote control. I just like it. I just like having it. So my son now feels that he's old enough to have it. So it's always a race, kind of a joke, but it's a race to see who gets downstairs just to have it.
Yeah, that's fair. My thing with the Jays right now, my problem is I booked a trip to Toronto in the middle of September at the beginning of the year, being like, all right, going to watch this team in a playoff push. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now I'm sitting here looking at my wife being like, we're going to go watch a last place baseball team? That's our holiday this year? That's brutal.
Touche. Now, have you been to a gender reveal party?
No, I haven't. I can kind of understand,
wow.
I guess,
why. For sure you would have been to one.
I guess like on the age and all of that, but none of my friends have started having kids yet. I mean, we're in our late 20s. We're all 28 years old, but we're not quite there yet.
Do you think they would have a gender reveal party? Because lots of people who have it, but it's would they? Do you like? Because you're laughing. You have a friend that you know that would have a gender reveal party, don't you?
Yeah, maybe one. But like neither of my sisters did. Their kids are pretty young. Like they didn't do that. So I think there's maybe one. I definitely wouldn't. That is not my jam at all.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because that's that like I will judge people. Like not harshly, but I would judge you if you had a gender reveal party.
That's fair.
I just did not. I don't know why. It's just I'm like, just have a party. Like you want to have a baby shower, great, right? Like have a diaper party, awesome. Do whatever you want. I don't know what it is about the gender reveal party. Maybe it's because I've seen some of the videos and it looks so stupid. I'm just kind of like, no, not a good one. So for a year, the Stars and Jason Robertson's camp negotiate, and the $12 million number has been out there for months that's what Dallas was being offering, and Robertson's camp wanted 14. So after all of that, he settles on $12 million for a year. Now, he can renegotiate a contract starting in January. The salary cap automatically goes up $9 million next year, and Tyler Seguin's $9 million contract comes off the books. Even if he re-signs, he ain't re-signing $9 million. So do you think this is like Robertson clearly likes it in Dallas, but didn't like it enough to go 12 years longer term? So, or do you think this is just the beginning of the end in Dallas and Robertson?
I mean, this is kind of the ultimate. If you're a Stars fan, there is a glass half full and a glass half empty kind of approach to each of these. Like if you want to go glass half full from a Dallas perspective, it's, they have a handshake under the table agreement that on Jan 1, Jan 2 or something like that, they're going long-term, whatever the dollars are, because Sagan's money comes off the books. They have $41 million in cap space next summer. Like they can absolutely make the money work, but handshake under the table things, they're not real contracts. So let's say in the first 30 games next year, Jason Robertson has 20 goals. What if they wait till the end of next season and Jason Robertson scores 55 goals? I mean, he had 45 last year. He's one of the more prolific scorers in the game. Like if he does that, or if he's on pace to do that halfway through the year, maybe they go to Dallas and say, hey, I know we talked about 16 being the number, but 16's out the window. Everyone talks about the risk of him getting hurt, him slowing down and all of that. He's also eligible to be a full UFA next June or next July. So, I mean, the risk here, I feel like, is maybe more on the Dallas side of if he scores 50 plus, he could sit there and say, no, it's not 15 or 16 anymore. It's 17 or 18 or maybe even more than that. Because all of a sudden, Robertson has the negotiating power to say on July 1, he already knows Seattle was willing to give him $120 million over 8 years or whatever it was, that insane deal he turned down. Like, I think this puts a lot of power in Robertson's camp. Like, even if he struggles or gets hurt, there will be teams next July 1st who will say, whatever Dallas's best offer is, we're willing to beat that.
Yeah, it's true. It'll be interesting to see. But Dallas's team for this coming year, they're going to be a contender again. I don't think there's any question about that. And, good for them. Arbitration is a great thing because it basically is just, it's a means to an end. We always see it. There's very few players that actually go to arbitration. But when you file for arbitration, it's almost like, hey, now we're going to have a deadline. And the NHL loves deadlines, and they always find a way to it. So, we'll talk to Newkirk later on about the Dallas Stars. Meanwhile, you got the Edmonton Elks, who are on fire. They're 5-1. They're going into Saskatchewan. And obviously, it will be an emotional night as they honor both the young men who passed away in that car crash. One of them obviously was a member of the Riders in Delkey. But you look at, what's your expectations here? Do you think the Riders, like, this is like, man, we're fired up here, we're playing for a fallen teammate? Or do you think the emotion gets the best of them at times and you almost like you peak and then there's just like that drop off? What do you think happens in this game?
Yeah, I mean, Corey Mason, that staff, you feel for him because obviously, they lost a player that they coach and a friend and a leader on that team. But what a tough task they have to try to get this team. You're right. Like, which way does the motivation kind of go? Do you go in this game being a bit more fragile? Or if you're struggling early, like, what do you even say to a team at halftime if you're Corey Mace and you're down by 2 scores or more than 2 scores? Like, I think it'll be, a really delicate team in Saskatchewan. And, how that first quarter goes will probably dictate how the game goes. Like, if they come out flying, then that might be where they get a lot of like, yeah, we're playing for them, we're doing this thing. If it gets off to a bit of a rocky start, I think that's where this could maybe flip for the worse from a Riders perspective in terms of how the game could play out. But obviously they're playing with heavy hearts. The Elks are coming off a game where they didn't have their best last week. They got a lot of takeaways. I like the way the defense looked. I mean, that big sack on Nathan Rourke early was obviously game-changing. The offense and Rankin weren't maybe as spectacular as they've been in other weeks. But I'll go ahead and say, Greg's, sometimes I like when a team finds a way to win a game when they're not at their best. I think that can be the mark of like a truly good to great team is like, hey, what did we have today? Our C+, B- level found a way to win. You don't want it back-to-back weeks. I mean, we saw the Oilers this year. They couldn't find their A level for more than back-to-back games all year, and they also couldn't win with their C level. But I think there's something to the fact that a win like the Elks had last week can be really galvanizing to like, hey, even when we aren't at our best, the defense can pick up the offense, and hey, there's going to be a week where the offense picks up the defense, and that's how we're going to roll.
Well, you know what? You never criticize a win that bad. Is what everybody, especially in a short season where you're a third of the way through the year. Now you got 5 wins in the bank. The Elks could barely win 5 games for the last many years, and now you have an opportunity. Even if you just split with the Riders, you're 6-2 through 8 games, and like you're already 8 points up on the BC Lions right now. Like that's massive in a league when you're looking for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in years, hasn't had a home playoff game in quite some time. So I think the start has been great for Edmonton. Obviously, there's been some hiccups along the way. They are getting some guys back from injuries, which is key. Now, Boyko comes in, O'Donnell's out, but O'Donnell's injury, in my understanding, is only a week, and he will be back for next week. I think him and his wife are also expecting a baby this week, so maybe a little bit of good timing for him to be around for that. And, if he comes back, and then maybe if Boyko plays well, you could put Boyko and play him at right guard next week, and now suddenly you've got even more flexibility on your cap. Mogensen comes back in. He's not going to start on defense, but he'll come in and he'll help on special teams. Now, even Royce Mechie, after his Achilles, is coming in, and that gives him some depth. And the one move that hasn't got talked about much, though, but is that even when they're winning, their defense is playing great. Kobe Williams has lost his starting job. Johnson's going to get the start at halfback tomorrow. So watch for 32, and I'm curious to see if the Riders try to pinpoint him in some of their play calling tomorrow night.
Yeah, and to what you were talking about earlier with like you have some injuries, you deal with them, you win in spite of them. It just gets other guys involved in the fight. And in a sport like football, you never know when injuries are coming, but they're coming at some point. So as you head down the stretch, if you can point to a guy and say, hey, remember what you did for us in week 5, week 6, week 7, and maybe we're into the playoffs or we're into a late game where you're playing for a division title or something like that. The fact you can point and go, we have guys on the bench that we've leaned on at different points and gotten good results. I think that's important. And I'm sure, again, that's a position that'll flip-flop throughout the year too. It's a short season, but still 10 plus games left in this year.
Yeah, there 100% there is. How much of buyers or sellers, excuse me, do you think their Jays are going to be? Like, do you have a conversation to see if Gausman wants to re-sign? Because, like, hey, if you lose Gausman and Shane Bieber, and well, you haven't had Scherzer really all year long. Well, now you're spending the offseason looking for starters. So where do you think they come out on Gausman here and the because he's the one guy who could command, I think, a fair return. I'm not sure George Springer and Varsho, these other guys, the way they're playing, although they did win last year all the way to, to the final. And I wonder maybe how much that would play into what their value is leading up to the August 3rd trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm curious about his bat's been so bad, but if Varsho, that feels like a at the last second deadline deal. Some team goes, you know what, we'd love to be able to take him off our bench and put him in center field in the 7th, 8th, 9th innings. So I could see he's not going to get you a lot, but I could see him moving, especially because the Jays have Miles Straws, who's been a better player than him this year. They can just pop him into center field for the rest of the year and deal with that later. What makes Gausman's situation really tricky is he can block a trade and this was Ken Rosenthal earlier this afternoon. The teams who he'd be willing to accept a move to are the Reds, Brewers, Tigers, Mets, A's, White Sox, Pirates, and Mariners. Only 3 of those teams are playoff teams right now. So if there's only 3 playoff teams who he would okay a trade to, maybe you start some sort of a bidding war between the 3 of them, but that could really hurt the value that you're going to get for him. And that might make them lean more to your first point where it's like, you know what? He's such a good fit culturally. He raves about Toronto, how much him and his wife love it there. I think he's been one of those guys. He calls it the best decision of his life to sign a deal with the Blue Jays. So maybe you do go to him and say, hey, you've been so dependent. We know we need starters next year. Like Bieber, I could see Bieber going. It was a 1-year deal. Hasn't worked. I'm curious about how that arm's going to hold up through his 30s. Gausman's a guy who I don't have those same concerns with. And next year, you want to compete. I mean, the lockout could be the lockout, but next year, if Kevin Gausman's your number 4, you are in a tremendous spot. And if you don't have Kevin Gausman, you're probably just hitting free agency next year, trying to find a veteran like Kevin Gausman. So I do think there's a chance they extend him.
Where do you come out on next season? I think they're going to miss probably the first 2 months of the year. I don't think it's going to be a season-long strike/lockout. Do you think they could rectify it before? Where do you come out on next season in MLB?
I mean, I really hope they rectify it before. And I know that the big players are, the Bryce Harpers. He's been very vocal about this. He's had his run-ins in the past. They're like, we will not take a salary cap. But, there's only so many of those true superstars. There's a lot of other guys. And I mean, I haven't talked to him about this, obviously, but I think about St. Albert's Eric Sabrowski, who has a finite window here to maximize his earnings. And there are a lot of guys like that who are not making $30 to $50 million a year. And when they start losing checks next year, man, maybe that's where the feeling kind of changes in the union. And maybe that's what the owners are holding out for, is that that's sort of, everyone outside of the superstars who's fighting for their money and knows they only have maybe a 4 to 6 or 7 year career if they're lucky. When those guys start missing checks, they might just sit there and say, hey, I need to make my money. Like hockey went through this. The superstars can pound the table and go on every podcast they want to and say, I'm not signing a deal that'll prevent me from getting $60 million a year. But there's a mushy middle in this sport and in every sport of guys who are just trying to make the most of their 4 or 5 years. And those guys might start getting vocal if you start missing games.
I've always, the top guys are always going to make their money.
Yeah.
That's just a fact, right? Like you look at, watch what's going to happen here in the NHL. We've already seen it. You got Leo Carlson at 18 million. Suddenly Connor Bedard's at Connor Bedard's at 15 million coming out of his entry level contract. Right now, Connor McDavid was at 12.5. If you look at it. So, and the cap has obviously gone up since he came out of his entry level deal, but he had scored 100 points in his second year in the NHL, right? Like it's just a different time. And you are like, Cale Makar, when his deal's up, he's very close here. Like, I wonder what he's going to get. It'll be, because I think the top end guys could get their money, Ty, but the reality is in the NHL, it is a hard cap. And if you want to win, you need depth. You just do. So you can get your money, but if you get too much, it just lowers your odds of winning. I just think a guy like Bedard's in an unreal spot. He gets 15 million, he gets 75 million over 5 years. And if Chicago isn't competitive, then he can go sign with a competitive team and take 15 mil again, not even a raise, and be like, I'm making a lot of money and now I'm on a better team. Like, it is, for the young players coming in, this is an unbelievable time to be getting your second contract.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, listen, I'm sure there are baseball players who would point to hockey and say, hey, we think it's unfair that Connor McDavid needs to be, I'll use air quotes here, but pressured to take less. Or Cale Makar, you hear the reports that, he can ask for whatever he wants, but there's pressure on him to take less so that the Avs can win. And maybe that doesn't exist in a world where there's no cap like baseball, although even Ohtani had to do the deferred money and all of that stuff. So I don't know. On the flip side, if for the owners, because they're the ones who, when they go out and do their PR with all these stories, it's competitive balance. That's the issue that we're trying to tackle with the salary cap. And if that's the case, if it truly is competitive balance, then make a proposal where the floor is $175 million and go to Miami and go to Pittsburgh and go to all these cheapskate owners and say, if this is really about competitive balance, those guys can start actually paying like they want to run a major league sports team. Those guys can start paying with a high cap, because when I see the numbers and it's like, oh, $100 million floor, it's like, well, yeah, no kidding. The players not going to accept $100 million floor. Too many teams can slash payroll and justify being down there. So that's the flip side of this thing too. Like the owners and players, it's cliche, but they just have to find a way to come together, and it's for the betterment of the sport here if they can make this work.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ty, great stuff, buddy. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we will talk again next week.
Sounds good. See you, Gregs.
There you go. That's Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilersnation and Daily Face Off. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got some stats of the day. We'll get to the roundtable and more. It's the Gregor Show coming to you live today at the Mark Spector Golf Classic, all in support of Sports Central, fantastic charity that helps kids get in the game, here live at the Quarry. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So sit on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Jaffa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Always Deck is monitoring, so give him a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. It's a great day. It's a great day to do it. You could, push us over the top. We keep getting to milestones every day, so that would be fantastic. So we appreciate it. It really costs you nothing to do, which is what makes it so unique. Coming up, we got the round table. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And oh my goodness, the Jays could if I'm looking at Toronto, like they don't have a prop bet on, but the spread is like over 7.5. The way the Jays are hitting, like that seems pretty unlikely. Pretty unlikely, I would say. And the Jays to get even over 2.5 runs, man, that would be a challenge for sure. So we'll see if they get to a 3 spot tonight. Can they score 3 runs? Dare to dream. Imagine if they actually had like a bunt in their repertoire. I know it's crazy. I know it's great. Now Tampa Bay is different. They play small ball better than anyone else, so I understand that. But I do think that it is odd to watch the Jays. They're struggling, and it's like they don't change anything. Oh, let's just keep swinging away and thinking eventually we'll swing our way out of it. Like, I don't know, try a bunt single here or there. Sacrifice bunt. Get a guy into scoring position. Put him in the third base. Because the Jays, how many times have the Jays had bases loaded and 1 out and didn't push even 1 run in? It's wild how many times that has happened this year. Absolutely wild. Anyway, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009, they just continue to expand and grow, and they are growing again and hiring. It's a great company to work for. Hydrovac operators, equipment operators, backhoe operators, and hey, if you're just starting out, construction laborers, they got it all. So you can check it out at Indeed.com and look up All Star Construction. And some stats of the day. Let's get to start with the CFL. Now, here's the categories that the Elks are leading in through 7 weeks of the CFL season. They've obviously only played 6 games, but they average 5.8 yards per rush, most in the CFL. How about they've had the best starting field position, 41.2 yard line. That's where they start. An average drive for the Elks is the 41 yard line. The opponent's starting field position, 34 yard line. Points allowed, 23. The opponent pass efficiency of 81%. Opponent touchdown drive percentage, only 15.9. That's the lowest in the league. And the Elks, of course, are ranked number 1 on defense. Like, their defense is really good, man. Really good. Justin Rankin update. He's got 50. He's on pace for 1566 rushing, 1,029 yards receiving if he wants to become the first ever member of the 1,000 club. He could become the first ever member of the 1,900 club. No one's ever had 1,000 yards rushing and 900 or more yards receiving. We'll see. Last year, the Riders, they were pretty good against Rankin. held them to 82 yards in 2 games and 57 yards. So an average of 41 yards rushing and 23.5 yards receiving. So, hey, the Elks, they're going to need more from him. And that's not just ranking, offensive line, play calling, everything goes into it. This will be the last time this year that the Elks face an opponent coming off a bye week. They played Winnipeg coming off a bye. They beat them. They played BC coming off a bye. They beat them. Now they're looking to beat the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. And here's one of the best numbers about the Elks if you're watching the games. Last year, for the entire season, the Elks led for a grand total of 408 minutes. Through 6 games this year, they've already led for 258, which, if you do the math, that would put them to lead for over 770 minutes. Okay, like that's a huge improvement for the green and gold this year. And when you play with the lead, you got a better chance to win. Now let's get to some MLB numbers for you. Just one MLB hitter has got the Triple Crown since 1967. Okay, that was Cons. Do you know the last guy to get the Triple Crown in Major League Baseball?
Top of my head, no.
Miguel Cabrera, 2012. He was the only player to win the Triple Crown since Carl Yastrzemski did it back in 1967. But what about Yordan Alvarez right now? So he's currently leading in batting average at 326. Second place is Yandy Diaz at 312. He leads in home runs with 33. Second place is Junior Caminero, 29. He leads in RBIs with 75. Ben Rice is second with 68. Now, to make it even more that's being the Triple Crown in the American League. But since 1901, only 5 players have led all major leagues in both categories. And Alvarez is currently tied for the major league lead in home runs. He's 1 back in the RBI column, and he's just 6 points off the lead in batting average. The 5 players, in case you're wondering, who are basically led the entire league, not just the AL or the NL when it came to a Triple Crown. Ty Cobb, 1909. Roger Hornsby, 1925. Lou Gehrig, 1934. Teddy Williams, 1942, and Mickey Mantle in 1956. So if you're watching, and right now you can't watch the Jays, but you might want to watch Alvarez. He is absolutely killing it right now. Absolutely kill. I think there's 7 players in baseball total who have a batting average over 300 right now. That's it. Like it is. I know, and everybody talks about on base percentage, everything else. Hey, you still want a guy who can hit and get on base. And how about Nolan Arenado? He's the newest member of the 2,000 hit club, but he's only the 6th player in MLB history to have 2,000 hits, 350 home runs, and 10 gold gloves. Cons, do you think you could name, you are Declan, both of you, get your mics on. Could you name, honestly, I only got one of the 5 guys who are part of the 2,000 hit club, 350 home runs, and 10 gold gloves. You have any idea on them?
Ripken?
No.
Throw Declan's mic.
Declan? You got any?
Oh, it was 2,000 hits,
350
10 gold
home runs,
gloves, 350
10
homers.
golden gloves. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think who was winning gold gloves and batting like that.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard?
No. I'll say this. This guy of your area, and you guys would have both watched him, maybe the smoothest swing I've ever seen.
Griffey?
Yes. See, it's great when you say it, you know right away, right?
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr., Mike Schmidt did it, Johnny Bench, Willie Mays, and Al Kalina. I obviously didn't know Al. Obviously, Schmidt, I should have got that one. That one kind of annoyed me. Willie Mays, Johnny Bench, a little bit before my time, but still. Only 5 guys have ever done it. Nolan Arenado, and he's just the 6th guy to do it. Like, pretty special player right? Like I think at times maybe we undervalue how good he's been offensively and maybe just as good defensively. Like 10 Gold Gloves, you kidding me? That's pretty damn good. 350 home runs. He's got some pop and he got some hits too. So kudos to Nolan Arenado joining a very unique club with Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt, Johnny Bench, and Al Hallie. When we come back, we're going to get to the round table with Hallie and Kruger. We also have Struddy back off of holiday. Spec will join us a little bit later on and more. We are coming to you live from Spec's tournament, the Mark Spector Classic, all in support of Sports Central. We'll take a quick break after we get to Connor Hallie and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle, look no further. GoAuto.ca. They have over 17,000 vehicles to choose from. 31 brands, 73 locations. You'll find your ride at GoAuto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars agreeing to a contract to avoid arbitration. It's 1 year, $12 million. Robertson has 490 points in 465 career regular season games with the Stars and could become an unrestricted free agent for the first time next summer. In the majors, the Jays in action. First pitch 5:07 taking on the Rays. We'll join it in progress following the Gregor Show on our AM feed. Right now, Diamondbacks all over the Athletics, 14-2 in the seventh, and in the ninth, Rockies trail the Nationals 8-0. Got the Reds lead the Mariners 5-3 heading into the bottom of the ninth in Seattle, and in the seventh, Angels trail the Cards 1-0. Later on tonight, Dodgers, Phillies. You got the Yankees and the Pirates in game 2 of their doubleheader. Yankees falling earlier 5-3. And the Rangers take on the White Sox. Earlier today, Royals over the Giants 5-4, and the Brewers get past the Mets 4-3. In town tonight, the Riverhawks are in action once again, taking on Kamloops. First pitch just after 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to the roundtable, ask 5 questions, and we'll be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick. I'm Connor Hallie. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray Radio Station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Barkells to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, The Fruit Squad, Morningwood, Rockzilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Chat Brab and 118.
Jason Gregor.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
We roll through Wednesday afternoon, a hot Wednesday. Man, even the smoke seemed to go away a lot today, which was fantastic. Mosquitoes were down. Hopefully things are drying out in your area. We need a few more days of this. I think I could speak for all of us when we say, hey, we can just take a pause on the rain for a little bit. We can enjoy some heat. Even when it's 29, 30, 31, I don't care. Put on your sunscreen. Put on your sun shirt, whatever it is. Wear a hat, wear some shades. Enjoy it because we haven't had a lot of hot days so far this summer. It is the Gregor Show live. Here, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, it's time to get to our roundtable with Declan Kruger and Connor Halley, and the con man is up first.
All right, I'll dive right in here. I want to just look at the Boston Red Sox and their winning streak. It is absolutely incredible what they've been able to do as of late. 15th earlier today. Now they got another chance at the doubleheader. But the one thing I do believe, and you guys can agree or disagree, we'll talk about it. I think Major League Baseball, of the 4 North American sports, is the easiest sport to go on a run. Just because of, well, one, it's not as physical as the other sports. You're not having, and I know you play every day, but you're not taking the bumps like you would in football and hockey. Even in basketball, there's going to be more injuries. You have a fresh pitcher every game, which certainly is a benefit. You're playing day after day. A lot of times when a team's on a hot streak and they get a couple days off, we say, oh, man, they just wish they could keep on playing. In baseball, you get that opportunity. Now, Boston Red Sox have done it over the All-Star break as well, which is adding to it. I really don't want to make it sound like I'm diminishing what they have done. But when you look in other sports, the longest NHL winning streak, 17 games. In the NFL, actually 23. The Colts did that over 2 seasons in the Peyton Manning era. In the association, we've seen it quite a bit. The Lakers did 23 straight. In Major League Baseball, though, we've seen 7 winning streaks over 20 games. In the association, 6. Again, I just think when you look at all the things involved here, if there's a sport where it's easiest to get on a run and go for a few games, a multiple game winning streak, I think it's Major League Baseball.
Go ahead, Kruger.
I disagree. I think it's basketball for one. The thing with like baseball, I think the pitching can actually work as a hindrance, right? Like, you know, if you get a really hot pitcher, get a couple hot pitchers and just the constant rotation. Obviously the schedule and the lack of physicality helps, but I always for things like this kind of defer to basketball just because I think like if you have a really good team and a really good player who can just dominate the ball, like they can carry you for a long stretch. So I think football would be the toughest to do it because of the physicality, hockey in there as well. But no, I think basketball overall easier to do.
Well, if you look at it, the Lakers do, I think, have the longest streak, right? At 33 games.
Yeah.
Hockey did have 135. That was with Philly when they had ties, which is still pretty damn impressive. I kind of have a tendency to agree. Like you're in the NBA, your 5 starters are usually your 5 starters every game. So if you get a great starting 5, you just kind of dominate. In baseball, you're having a different starter every day for 5, and then it goes again, and then you got to bring in your relievers and everything else. And yeah, your bench has to play in the NBA, but I'd probably agree with Dak. I think the NBA is better suited for it because there is fewer players that impact a win in your game for the NBA. So I would go with the NBA as well. Now, if we ask which one's the hardest, I'd probably go football because you only play once a week. So it's hard to maintain momentum, right? Like you're feeling good about yourself, but yeah, you feel good. You can win 4 games in a row. That's a month, right? A lot of the other, you're playing, well, in baseball, you play like 25 games sometimes in a month. And I think when you're feeling it, sometimes that can be better. So I would actually think football, whether it's CFL, NFL, might be the hardest one to go on a run. But I'd probably have to agree with Deck that I think the NBA is easiest.
That's fair. And, football for sure, for a lot of the streaks, like you look at the longest one, it's going over 2 seasons, right? With all the turnover in teams, it makes it very tough. The Colts with the longest 23, Patriots at 22 or 21, and they did that over 3 seasons. So really impressive. Declan?
What about when the Patriots did over 3, but they won 16 games one year?
Yeah, so they won 3 to wrap up the year. This is just regular season.
Oh, and then they went 16 and then they went 2-0 to start the next year. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Interesting. Good for the Colts.
The Dolphins ended it, actually.
Might have been their last win.
Declan?
Yeah, so this is just kind of a continuation from our conversation yesterday when we were talking about the WNBA and the face of the league, and it did get me thinking about other faces of the league in the 5 major leagues we cover here, or main leagues we cover, I should say. And I wanted to think about it, obviously, from my perspective, like who I think of when I think of the faces of the league, but maybe more importantly and more specific to this conversation, like if I polled 100 people who weren't really that familiar with the sport, like who would they think the face of the league is? So for the NBA, this was the only one I had co-faces of the league. I had LeBron and Steph. If I had to give it to one, I'd give it to LeBron, but I think Steph has done enough to work himself up into that conversation as well and that status as well. In the MLB, I have Shohei. In the NFL, I have Patrick Mahomes. In the NHL, I do have Connor McDavid, but this was kind of a funny one because I was thinking about it and I was like, I bet if you pulled 100 random Canadians, like you're still getting a decent amount of Sidney Crosby shouts. Then obviously like the American thing, it's a little bit weird. You have the Kachuk brothers going on Hannity talking about Israel. Like I don't really want to touch that, but I don't know. I guess it's just a factor into the conversation. And then in the CFL, I still went with Bo Levi Mitchell because I think his longevity is something that has really contributed to it. But if someone wanted to push back and say Nathan Rourke, I'd understand that as well. So I just wanted to know where you guys came out on potential faces of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some that are kind of locks for me, like LeBron for sure. I like Steph, though. Steph's doing some things, but LeBron's been in Space Jam. He's out there. To me, he would be the clear-cut face. MLB, Shohei, yeah, how can you argue with what he's done, how good he's been? The CFL one's tough for me. Like, I don't know if the CFL would have a majority. Like, if you were to go around the league, like a couple of years ago, go back 15, 20 years, you might say, like Anthony Calvillo, Ricky Ray, big names in the CFL. Now I don't know if I'd have one quite as much. Patrick Mahomes, maybe I'm like off my rocker here, but I think a lot of times once guys are done, they kind of become the face of the league. Like JJ Watt retired, got in all these commercials doing TV, all that sort of thing. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are everywhere now. Geez, look at Pat McAfee, former players. Current players, I probably would go with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that probably would be the one.
Because like you'd never call JJ Watt the face of the league right now.
But like when you think
like
of
if we had this conversation outside of the segment organically at the water cooler, you wouldn't say JJ Watt's the face of the league.
I mean, he's everywhere though. Like he's become so popular, right? And like what he does on social media, so many people know. I don't know if you guys saw that story of him meeting up with that guy in New York for a pint. It was unbelievable. Went viral, of course. Yeah, you wouldn't probably have a non-quarterback. I'd probably concede that one, but I don't know. I don't think Mahomes is Tom Brady yet. At that point, like where we would have said 5 years ago, clear-cut Tom Brady face of the NFL. Mahomes would be the closest, but I think it'd be like a tier below.
That's a good question. I think it's always difficult. I do think McDavid around the league with people like he's won 7 Art Rosses. They beat the Stanley Cup final twice. He's won multiple MVPs. I do think McDavid's probably the face of the NHL. The NBA. It's interesting when you say LeBron because now I think it's kind of laughable that they wait for the schedule just to see who LeBron's playing. Like I just think that's a bad decision by the league. But like. The thing about the NBA right now is because trust me, it's an American league, right? I know there's one team in Canada, but it's a United States league. That's what it is, right? And the fact of the matter is SGA, Jokic, Giannis, like lots of the best players, even Wemby, they're not American. And I think that actually hurts him. Doncic, right? Like you look at the best young guys, like LeBron's, you know what? His career probably is there because he's been in the league for so long, and he's probably still the face. But when he leaves, who's the next one? Because they don't who's the best young American? Is it Edwards? Probably. So is the Ant going to be that guy? Maybe. But I think the NBA is in a little bit of trouble there because that's something, make no mistake, the United States is very nationalistic, and that's okay. There's days where I think we should probably be a little bit more than them. Some days there's some where they're just like clueless about any other nation. So that's not the level you want to get to. But I wonder where that hurts their league. The NFL, it's basically all Americans. Like, sure, there's a few Canadians sprinkled in, the odd European, but that helps them. And that's why I think they'll always have somebody there. I think Declan's right about Pat Mahomes. He's won multiples recently. KC is the team. Because the other thing is, when you're good and you win, you become a little bit more of the face because the other fan base hates you, right? And even though you're the face, they don't all love the face of the league. They're just aware of the face of the league. As for the CFL, Bo Levi, you're right, it's been around a long time. I'll say, and I think it might happen as early as this season, Davis Alexander is the guy who's going to be the face of the league. Like he's a gunslinger. He throws touchdowns all the time, wins a tons of games. Personal guy. I think there's a chance that he becomes that next one. But the thing is, I think at times it helps you to be dominant when you've won. That just helps, like especially in the NFL, because I find football fans are so much more regionally passionate about their team that when even Jalen Hurts for a while, because Philly had that success and people they found ways to want to break down Jalen Hurts, but everybody talked about him. He wasn't the face of the league, but he was talked about a ton, right? And I think KC helps Mahomes because he also is teammates of Kelsey, whose wife is Taylor Swift, and that helps Mahomes, make no mistake about it.
Kelsey might get some votes. He just went casual sports fans because of the Taylor Swift impact.
Yeah, that's fair.
His popularity is huge.
Yes, that is very true, right? There's a lot of non-football fans who know him because they're Taylor Swift fans. That's very valid. So, but what do you guys make of the NBA, honestly? When LeBron leaves, who's it handed to? Steph's pretty old now, and they're not Golden State really hasn't been competitive for a few years. So is it the Ant? Who else can be? Because trust me, that league naturally, guys, their face of the league isn't going to be a European or a Canadian.
See, I disagree. I think Ant is the best chance for an American to take over as the face of the league, but I actually do think Wemby is the guy who will overtake him as face of the league.
That's who I was thinking of.
He stands out literally and figuratively, so that probably helps him. Yeah.
And there's something to be said, his passion. I think that can resonate with people. It's more of a transition of it's cool to care. He's obviously defensively, he makes that part of the game exciting, which for a lot of people it isn't. He's an absolute freak just as a person, 7'5", built like an alien. There are just, I think, a lot of qualities that can't be duplicated he has that I think draw people to his game. And therefore, that's why I think he's going to be basically.
What about Jalen Brunson being in New York and winning that championship and taking less money? Does he take the torch ahead of Ant?
I think he has a way better shot than people maybe give him credit for or had ever given him credit for due to his game. But I just think he's a little bit more Ant is a personality on the mic. He's talking to fans while he's on the court, talking about Rudy Gobert and his contract. Jalen is a little bit more head down, do the dirty work, play his game. And I do think there needs to be a little bit more of a crossover, I guess, with people that he just doesn't really lean into. So that's why I think Ant would have a better chance than him, but I still think it would be Wemby.
To you guys, has there been a non-American who's been the face of the NBA? If you go back and look, like Dirk was big, but LeBron was still there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of been Jordan, Shaq, Kobe.
Well, yeah,
it
was Wilt and Bill, then it was Kareem for a little bit, then Magic and Larry, then Jordan, then Shaq and Kobe into LeBron. So
yeah, no, I don't think so.
If Wemby can put a few sentences together, be a little charismatic, I think he could be the next one or the first European.
Yeah. See, like SGA is just not flashy enough for what the league wants, right? And he's a mid-range shooter, which they hate. So, and maybe some think he's a little bit of a flopper too. So
that too, yeah.
yeah. We'll take a quick break. Guy who's a flopper in his own right joins us next. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at the Mark Spector Golf Classic.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The Bricks 55th Birthday Bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses. And don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in. The Birthday Bash ends July 29 at The Brick. Saving you more.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hi, Edmonton. The legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bashawconcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete products. Once again, start here. bashawconcrete.com.
If you change your mind, take a chance.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. It's Wing Wednesday at OTR with 69-cent wings starting at 5, plus drink specials all day and karaoke at 9. Jasper Ave 118th or online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.425 on a sunny, hot Wednesday afternoon. How are you? Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show, presented by playalberta.ca, your one-stop shop. Everything in one place. Instance, lottery, live dealer, sports, casinos. Have some fun. Stay within your limits. Use your game sense. GameSenseAB.ca. I'm Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger. Back at Sports 1440 headquarters. We are out here at the Mark Spector Golf Classic as they are getting set to wrap things up here. Big luncheon, raising a lot of money for Sports Central. So thanks everybody who played, who bid on all of their packages. They had mean Gene Principe, very tanned Gene Principe was here today emceeing. And I heard there was an over-under at 11.5 puns, and no surprise, the over hit big today. So good job, Gene. Love it. We do have a few texts coming in. People saying, hey, what about Hakeem Olajuwon? You know what? Short-lived, but you're right. He might have been Houston in the mid-90s for a time. That could be fair because, remember, Jordan was out of the league for those years. So, you know, that's probably closest that we get to a European being the face of the league in the association. Now, let's get to Struds On, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings. If you've been thinking about getting solar for your home or your business, get a hold of Action, and they will walk you through the process. You get rebates, tax refund of over 30%, courtesy of the federal government. Check it out, actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea, and it is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, happy Wednesday. How you doing?
Great. How you guys making out?
Pretty good. Struddy, have you ever been invited to a gender reveal party?
No, I haven't. No, I don't think when my friends are going through it, like my age group friends, I don't think it was a thing. I don't know. Are you in one? Are you guys having a baby? So is this a big reveal?
Struds, first of all, my days of having children are over. But even if I was, I can tell you there would never be a gender reveal party. Like I don't know. I judge people that have one. We were just asking people. I know, like Struddy, you're a man about town. We had Ben Scrivens on the show. Just talking about all the things that Struddy does. And so we were just wondering if Struds is like, if one of your friends invited you, would you go to the gender reveal party?
I guess I would, to be kind. Listen. I think there's very few true surprises, good surprises in life. And I think when you get the opportunity, and I'm not like, everyone's different, so I'm not judging, but for us, it's that moment when, the child is delivered and the doctor reveals it, like, that's a shocker. You really have no idea which way it's going to go. So that to me is a true surprise. Now, others, they like prepare. I get it. I'm like, I fly by the seat of my pants most of the time. So no problem. But I think that's one of life's very true surprises that you can have. And that's why I think it's important to have that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's one of the rare things that you can have a big surprise over. And in that moment, you're just happy. You hope to have a healthy baby, and they say it's a boy or girl. And you're like, great, you know what? And at that point, you can't imagine having anything else. And so away you go. So I like it. Jason Robertson signs a 1-year deal, $12 million with the Dallas Stars. Do you think he's a Dallas Star for more than one more year?
I can't figure out, what he's going after. This situation a little bit less of the Star, but remember when Kawhi, it looked like he was going to sign in Toronto, and then, where was he going to go? Then no one really knew what was going on. And then all of a sudden, bang, he ends up with the Clippers. Like, he has some kind of agenda, and he hits his right. So I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad thing. As a pending UFA to be, he has a right to use this. That's what the deal is. That's the way the CBA is oriented. But I get why he didn't want to go to Seattle. Like, I'm not even gonna challenge that. The money was great, but I get that. He doesn't want to go there. I don't know who the center is going to help elevate his game. There was talk about Pittsburgh. Their centers are really good players, but they're older and getting near the end of their career. So I don't know that that's a fit either. But what does he want with Dallas? It feels like the money was close-ish. And maybe he wants to hold out for that extra 3, 4, 5, 6 million. I don't know what he wants extra a year, but Dallas is a pretty good place to play. They've got a pretty good team there. They've got some good, D-men. So, if he didn't sign now, to me, it's either A, he doesn't want to be there, or B, he wants the full amount of money he can get when he becomes a free agent. And the way contracts are going with some guys lately, by this time next year, who knows what that number might be, but there's something we don't know, Grace, because something's not adding up with where he's at.
Struds, the Elks are 5-1. They're the only team in the CFL that has yet to lose a game at home. They're perfect 3-0 at home, which means the Elkman who hasn't been there better not show up for the next home game, because that would be pretty dumb on your part. If you haven't showed up now, you're clearly not a believer, so you don't show up now that they're 3-0. At home. But in all seriousness, the Elks are playing great. They're 5-1. They go into Regina. What now? I know it's hard to try to guess on what it would be like to be in someone else's shoes, but when you look at everything that's going on around the Riders with the unfortunate passing of Jaden Dahlke and obviously him that collision Bishma Rajaguru also losing his life in that. How do you think Saskatchewan handles that as a player, as a team? How do you think that's going to go tomorrow night?
Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about those guys, and I've fortunately never had to deal with anything like that when I was on the team, and I feel terrible for the family and the team and the fans. There's so many people that are affected. But what I think is just the range of emotion. I mean, there's going to be so many emotions, ranging from, should he even be playing this game, to we're missing one of our captains, to, why would this happen? Like, so many things. You're trying to now get it focused in on a game. And these guys are professional athletes, and they are, the elite of the elite of focusing. But this is a long way past, I'm in a slump, or, we've lost the last 3 games. So I just think the range of emotions, and I think, to be fair, the team they're playing against, right? I think for the Elks, you're still human. You still know how people might feel. Like, imagine if that was your team or your family member, how you feel. I can't even imagine that, and trying to move forward with the game. So I think it's going to be an emotionally charged game for sure for the Rough Riders, and then for the Elks, you're trying to keep your focus and keep going. And keep delivering on what's been a really good year. But, Grace, you and I talked a while ago when they brought in Morris and Ed Hervey, Killam. I mean, these are people that have a vision for what they want. And if you don't want to be a part of that vision or aren't capable of living up and being a part of that vision, you're out. And they've done that. And quite frankly, Ed's had done it everywhere he's gone. But now these 3 guys seem to be totally in line, from what I'm seeing on the outside. And the players are getting in line too. So I mean, consider where they were to start the year last year. And it's the same group of, president, GM, and coach. And now the change they made, they got these players to leave. Fajardo's doing his thing. It's fun to watch. And, I think people will return to Commonwealth to watch because, they're winning. But it's a good culture they're recreating there.
Well, for sure. It's one where they've wanted, there's a few things that they've done, right? Like Chris Morris come in and, they wanted a professionalism, I think, put back in the organization. Ed Hervey, when it comes to some players, that they wanted guys who are committed, who are team players, and lots of guys who wanted to be in Edmonton, right? Like they've had lots of their players now who have moved here and are living here, and I think that's a big thing. That was always a big part of the green and gold success. Not every player, but you had a good chunk of guys who made Edmonton their home, and they're in the community. And I do think that's something that resonates. And they obviously wanted to get good players. And so now they're winning. And they, the coach wanted to create a family atmosphere. And I think they've done that. And now, like, how do I say it? It's easy to get out of the basement, Struds. Now the next step is to remain like a legit contender. Right. And so it's only 6 games. So I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, problem solved. They're back on top because it's only been 6 games. And that's why these next 2 games against Saskatchewan, who's been a really good team for many years now, and then they got Montreal, another really good team. This is kind of like the real test of just how good this team potentially looks. So it's easier to be the person who's chasing someone. Think of a race. You're trying to chase someone down and you're motivated. When you're being chased, is your motivation the same? I'm not suggesting the Elks have lost their motivation, but it's not quite the same. So now the key is consistency of practice, of attention to detail, of all those things that have got you there. But, from little I know and met with Morris and Ed Hervey and those guys, they're not going to let that off. Like, if anything, they're going to double down and push harder. And I remember I had a teammate named Scotty Gomez, and Lou Lamorilla was the GM in New Jersey. And he said that when things were going badly, Lou would be there, like, talking to guys, building them up, trying to get them going again. But when they were winning, he was an animal. As a GM, he'd come down and criticize every little thing he did because he could do it when you're winning, because the guys would take it differently than when you're losing. And so I'm sure with that coaching staff and this management, they're like, hey, we can keep tweaking things and getting a little bit better here and there, trying to stay healthy, all these types, refine our systems and refine our plays or whatever it is going to be. So it's exciting because I don't know that anyone expected this type of start, but now they had it. That consistency has to stay in their game. And that is the hard part. Then there's some luck, obviously, with injuries and all that. But I don't know. It's a great success story here in the city. For sure. And it's one that I think the fans wanted to see it. They're slowly starting to come back to games. I fully expect next Saturday be the biggest crowd of the year, probably pushing 29,000, and hope they continue to build on it afterwards. I'll be honest, it's been a while since, I've looked forward to an Elks game just to kind of see what's going to happen. I'm curious. Boyko is going to play guard now. This will be his first game of the year. O'Donnell's out. Sounds like he's only out for 1 game. They're going to make the switch in the secondary. Like, their secondary has been ball hawks all over the place, but they're still making a change because they don't think Kobe Williams is the guy. And that kind of shows me where here's your defense. You've got the number 1 defense in the league, Struds, and they still are like, well, we're not satisfied. We need better production from the halfback position. So Johnson's going to get the start tomorrow.
Well, can you imagine you're sitting in that room and the coach comes in and makes that announcement? We're changing. What? What do you mean? We're doing really well. And he just says we're changing. We want to do this. And maybe he explains to the group why or not. But that gets the attention of not just the players on the defense, but on the offense, that, we're striving for more. This isn't good enough. This level is great. We got to whatever level this is, level 6. Well, we want to be a level 7 or 8. So we're going to keep pushing. And I can tell you, when you're in the room and they make a change like that, when things are going well, it grabs your attention big time. So, I think that's a challenge directed at the team to say, hey, we're not done yet. We're continuing to strive to improve. And if we think we can tweak to get better, anyone's open to change.
Yeah. Jason Strudwick joins us. Struddy, we were having a few jokes earlier in the show saying I would rather blank than watch the Blue Jays right now. And we got a lot of really good answers. Watch the Milani movie. Allow my wife to have control of the remote control and many other things. The Blue Jays are like, are you out on the Jays, it's just like, you know what? If I got nothing else to do, maybe, but it's just like they're painful to watch right now, Struddy. Like they're reminding me of Jason Strudwick on the infield at Telus Field.
Yeah, they don't have the same athleticism. Let's not get too carried away here. They're not moving like I did. But you know what, Greg? Like I remember when they got to 500. I don't know if that was 3 weeks ago somewhere. And since then they're like, I don't know, 7-14 or something. Like it's been crazy. So I used to check in, like we get the year, check in, watch some games. Now, I'm down to kind of checking the scores. And then you see the last two games, I'm not sure to even checking the scores anymore after I know the game's over. Like it feels like a long way back, especially the Red Sox just hammering it out. I don't know if they won this morning. It was going, I think, for 15. They have a doubleheader today. But that's crazy. And I was reading an article today talking about how they might be in sell mode and they might move Gausman. And you know what? My initial reaction, Greg, was very fan-like, very emotional. No, I love that guy. He's been a great Blue Jay. And then you start reading why this player or person thought it makes sense. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it does make sense. Like, if they don't get it going the next little way, maybe you move Gausman for something now because, who knows what the labor issue is going to be like. He's 35. Or does he still have good years ahead of him? So I can't believe it. But once you get past that emotional hurdle of, man, I love that guy, I can't do it. Maybe that's a wise move to move a guy like Gausman.
Yeah, I look at the Jays, and if they feel like this is a one-year glitch, then you know what? You might be better off to see if Gausman wants to re-sign because starting pitchers, Struddy, are hard to find. Right? Now I'm not saying I sign him for a long-term deal, but I wonder to say, hey, does Gausman, can he be a number 3 or 4 for a few more years? And if he can, then maybe I look to sign him to an extension rather than trade him for some picks.
Yeah, because Scherzer, has a lot of injury issues this year, and some challenges. So I don't know where he's at. Bieber, there's another guy. I don't know where he's at. So, and then, Cease is doing well. Was it Ponce? The other guy's been hurt the whole year. So you do have some guys that are signed to next year. But it's going to be really interesting to see what these guys do. They've got some really good players that are available. They know there are free agents. And what do you keep them or try to get younger, bring in someone else? But at the end of the day, I still feel like, a lot of this is going to be worn by Vladdy Guerrero. Really, really tough year for him. And I think a lot of the energy from the team comes from him. I also think it comes out of Barger, who's been out basically the whole year. Those two guys, they hit a lot of home runs. They get a lot of balls on the bat, and they've been struggling. So it's a really, I find this to be a really interesting time. I think we'll know after the trade deadline how they view this year, the management view.
Jason Strudwick joins us. Strudwick, I had Ben Scrivens on. What's your guess on how the goalie rotation in Edmonton plays out this year?
As soon as we saw that they had 3 or had traded for Levi, signed Anderson, I'm like, they're going to carry 3 goalies. Like, that's what's happening. And I mean, let's look at it from a player's perspective. It's not often. It's not great. Now, you do have one less roster spot, so for that skater, it does make a difference because now he's not on the team. But it is not awful because goalies come in and out. And then it's nice that before and after practice, you'll always have a goalie to shoot on. Someone will always be available for you to work on. So that's a good part. The problem is in practice, how do you get enough shots for these guys in live action? Now, there's not a ton of 2-hour practices anymore. It's not like that. So they'll have to have I'm guessing they'll have some kind of a routine laid out as far as when guys play, when guys sit out. And I think all 3 guys will take turns sitting out. And those might be those built-in practice days where they'll get extra shots with the extra guys, work with their goalie coach. And it'll be kind of like a rotation because you can't leave one guy on an island forever. I just don't know how you can say, okay, for instance, Devin Levi, you're not going to play for 2 months. You're just going to sit there and you're just going to practice. Like, it's not the same. You need to have it. So I'm very interested to see how they're doing. They might talk to Freddie about what they did in Carolina. Now, there were some injuries in there, but Griggs, I think they're hoping after this year that Jari and Levi find their way, and these guys are now their two goalies, and that maybe Freddie goes off and or retires or whatever because he's getting older. But this is the most interesting. That and Ike Howard are the 2 most interesting things for me as we kind of preview the Oilers.
Yeah. Well, hi. Where do you come out on Howard? Is he on your opening night roster?
I hope he forces his way. Now, forces his way doesn't mean have to score 20 goals in preseason, but I'd like to see him, moving a little bit quicker, a little bit stronger on the wall, and getting a chance to play with guys who can make plays. Would he be enough on the third line for Dickinson? Let's say it's Dickinson and Nooch, just for that. Is that enough for him to be at his strength? I think for a scorer, maybe he's something to give him the puck a little bit more, so you move him further up. But then who comes down? So I'm fascinated. But I would love to see him. They need him to come through. If he can come through and have maybe a year like Savoy, that was a pretty good year last year that Savoy had. But a guy that improves all year long, and if you can get to 12, 15 goals, whatever, and look like he still has room to climb, that would be great because they need him. They need him on the wing to be that. Now, what does that mean for a guy like Quinn Hudson, who's smaller? Can you have both Savoy and Hudson and Howard, let's say, on a team, even looking forward another year down the line? I don't know. I feel like we're getting a little bit small, but you know what? They need him, and they can always, trade for size and add. But I would love to see him on the open day roster, yes. But I think this is more of a year-long project for Ike Howard.
Struddy, always good to catch up with you, buddy. Have yourself an awesome week. We'll chat with you next Wednesday.
Yeah, talk to you guys later. Have a good one, boys and girls.
There you go. That's Jason Strudwick. Join us every Wednesday here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We'll come back. We'll get to 5 questions and more. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Charity Golf Classic in support of getting kids back in sports, courtesy of Sports Central.
Wondering what you can afford?
Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure,
No awkward convos.
just quick answers on your budget and payments.
Bad credit? No credit? We got you.
Text check to 780-777-7777.
That's check to 780 all 7.
Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Roxilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the 1s and 2s, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix...
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.449, rolling through a lovely hot Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying the heat. Get hydrated. Get some screen on. Tonight's the night to get outside, enjoy it, because, man, we haven't had days like this very often this summer. So let's hope no rain today. We'll just take a day off from that. That would be nice. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where, of course, you want to try your hand at casinos, live dealer, lottery, instance, sports, and more. They have it all in one place. That's playalberta.ca. And now we're going to get to 5 questions, 5 questions, brought to you by The Brick, as they have a few days left as they celebrate their 55th birthday. And they have massive prizes. You can win part of the $255,000 they have in prizes. So check it out at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Of course, this offseason, Darnell Nurse was traded. Since 2019-2020, he has worn an A on his sweater. So I want to ask you, there's an opening. Who do you think should deserve to wear the A next season for the Oilers?
So I think the easy answer is Zach Hyman. I don't think it's probably going to be a real big discussion. I think it'll be Zach Hyman.
Good pick. Yeah, I mean, for me, one of the things I would do, because I know Leon Draisaitl's been alternating, I would be having the A on him full time. I think that's, at this point in his career,
oh, well, they could just do that.
Yeah.
Or they could just go with him. The other guys, I do wonder about Evan Bouchard. He's younger.
Yeah.
And maybe he gets in the rotation as a younger guy instead of Zach Hyman. That could happen. Bouchard's a pretty quiet guy. And maybe you do want a defenseman rather than 4 forwards. So that's something else to consider.
Yeah, and I do think that Zach Hyman, the letter, no letter, he's going to lead. So I kind of like going on the back end there with Evan Bouchard and giving him a little bit of a boost right there. Question number 2 for you. Give me an X factor for tomorrow's Elks Riders game.
X factor. Honestly, I'm going to say Brett Boyko. They you know what? O'Donnell's played really well at that guard position. And there was a drop off in the game when he went out. I look at Boyko. Boyko can come in, and it's his first game of the year coming off the broken hand. And if he can really solidify himself at the guard, not only does it help for this game, but it sets it up for when O'Donnell comes back that you could have Boyko play to the right side. So I'm going to go with maybe an unheralded guy and say Brett Boyko, because if he has a good game, then there's a chance that Rankin has a better game.
Yeah, hey, 100%. I think in this game it's going to be coming off a team who's a little bit rested, of course, very emotional with what they've gone through. Give me special teams. I've said this before, but I'm going Javon Leake. A big play to maybe sway field position, maybe hit the end zone. Give me the kick returner and punt returner, Javon Leake. Question number 3 for you. Jason Robertson will be a Dallas Star for at least one more year. If you had to predict his next contract, what do you think it'll look like?
Well, here's Robertson, man. Like in his last 5 years, he went 41, 46, 29, 35, 45 goals. Right? 79 points, 109, 80, 80, 96. So pretty consistent when you look at it for a goal scorer and a point producer. So do I think he's a 90-point guy again? Yeah. I think he could probably score 40 goals for the 4th time in 6 years. And he'll only be 28 years of age next year. Now, he'll be 28 when this season starts. My apologies, because his birthday is later this month. I think his birthday actually might be today. Look that up. It might be today, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe he just turned 27. So yeah, he'll be 28 next year. So I will say his next contract is $15 million.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what they did here. Just get it done, and then into the next season when you kind of reevaluate things, I'll put it right in that ballpark as well. Let's say maybe they're a little generous. $16 million, keep him there in Dallas, and he's an Oilers killer, so that'll be good for them. But yeah, I think he'll be locked up for a good time in Dallas. You can't let that guy leave. Question number 4 for you. The Kansas City Chiefs unveiling renderings for a new dome in Kansas worth apparently $3 billion. Do you like the Kansas City Chiefs going indoors?
Well, I don't recall like that many games in KC that were just horrific weather to the point that it was like, you're like, oh my God, we can never play there. I understand probably why, because there were some cold days there. This is further to what we talked about yesterday. If they're going to go indoors, they're going to go indoors and have the ability to have the grass roll in and out, because Arizona showed you could do it. So I think if you did it that way, then I can understand why they're doing it. But this is all about business and comfort. You're never going to have game delays. You're never going to have to worry about snow. You never ever worry about bad rain or cold weather. Your fans are going to love it. It's controlled inside. So I can see why they're doing it. And obviously it's a pretty big bill that they plan on spending to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes a ton of sense to go indoors. All of a sudden, you're opening yourselves up to host a Super Bowl, and obviously, we know what that does for the economy. So that part makes sense to me. I like the cold weather games. Like you don't see it, like you said, you don't see the snow. Maybe you might get in Philly or Buffalo occasionally, but they're gonna do that. They have the money to spend it. Obviously, they've made a ton of money in the last little while here. Business wise, it makes sense. And as a biased Chargers fan, I kind of dreaded those November, December games in Kansas City. So, yeah, throw them in a dome. Take that advantage away. I'm all on board for that. Final question for you today, Gregor. Actor Danny Glover celebrating his 80th birthday, of course, well known for his role in the Lethal Weapon series. So when it comes to law enforcement movies and TV shows, give me your top 3 characters.
Go ahead.
I'll go a little diverse here. I will say my number 3, Detective Boyle in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Obviously, it's a comedy show, so it's not the most serious, but he's got some moments. He's a weird cat, but he's absolutely hilarious. I will go with Jake Hoyt in Training Day. Very good movie. Obviously, for those who haven't seen it, he's kind of the good cop by the book. Polar opposites of Denzel Washington, who does whatever he takes, kind of blurs that line. And then my number 1, a movie franchise I just got into, Gregor, like a year ago, but we knocked them all out of the park. I'm going to go with Lee from Rush Hour, Jackie Chan. Because not only is the movie great, the action's fantastic, but you get the bloopers at the end of the movie. And I think more movies need to go with the blooper reel because he's hilarious in them.
Okay. I probably have at the top of my list Detective Olivia Benson in Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Love that show, even though it's a tough watch. But the thing is, did you know how long she played that character? And how I read the story how she actually had lots of victims who actually reached out to her just because they felt comfortable watching her character and they believed that her character was that empathetic for her. She actually started a whole wing to help out and started a whole foundation to help out victims of sexual crimes. Because she became she became that engaged in it. So she would be number 1. I'm going to go Inspector Harry Callahan / Dirty Harry Callahan from Dirty Harry, which was classic. And I probably now this one might be a stretch, Cons, but Jason Bourne. It's FBI. It's kind of law enforcement. It's a very special unit. But I'm going Jason Bourne.
I think
does that qualify? He's not really a cop.
It's law enforcement. FBI enforces the law. So yeah, I mean, by the wording, 100%, I'm going to count that.
Okay. That was I love that show, man. I absolutely loved it. So anytime it's on, I will watch it. It's a no-brainer for me. I love it. Like even the Renner one, I like it better with the more. The other one would have been Derek Morgan in Criminal Minds. You ever watch that show, Cons?
No.
You've never watched Criminal Minds?
How close is it to Law and Order?
Oh, no. Totally, very different.
Because my problem with
these guys, there's no court. They're catching like serial killers.
Okay.
Dr. Spencer Reed, super smart guy. It's not close to Law and Order.
Because my problem with Law and Order and most crime shows, once I watch the opening scene, I'm hooked. So it becomes very time consuming for me. But I think the Duke is a big fan of Criminal Minds as well. Like ran for a long time, right?
Yeah. And Criminal Minds though is like, it ran for like 16 years, I think. From like 2005 to 20, if I'm not mistaken. But it was awesome. Like it had, I remember my wife be like, why do you watch this stuff? Like, it's just, the writers come up with some of these stories and you're all just like, they got to be based on somebody somewhat realistic. Because how could you just imagine people like that? And then you read stories in true life and you're just like, okay, I see the connection here. But it was just very, it was kind of eye-opening. You like to try to figure out what's going on, how they're going to catch him, all that stuff. And they didn't always catch everyone, which is kind of what I like sometimes. It was rare, but the odd time they didn't, I was like, okay. Hey, guys, what about Frank Drebin? Oh, my God. Cons, have you seen Naked Gun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah. Oh, Leslie Nielsen. He is so funny. So that's it was that he was hilarious. We got a lot of texts coming in. Jack Bauer, 24. Well, pretty good.
I thought John McClane would get some more love.
Well, I thought about John McClane. I did, but you know what? It's a Christmas movie, so don't really think about his law enforcement. Just kidding, just to fire people up. Let's take a quick break. Mark Spector will join us. We are live here at the Spec Celebrity Golf Classic, all in support of Sports Central, who have done an amazing job helping so many families and kids just have the opportunity to play sports. And what an opportunity that is. And it can be life-changing, can be instilling so much confidence and so much joy and happiness for kids and their families. Just think about it as a parent. You know what? How much joy do you get watching your son or daughter compete in a sport? It doesn't really matter if they win at the end of the day. You just see them competing and overcoming things. It's awesome. So we'll have Spec join us after Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Employee pricing. It's a thing this month. You got 9 days. Stop in this weekend. Get yourself an unbelievable deal. You pay what they pay. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars agreeing to a contract 1 year, $12 million to avoid arbitration. Robertson has 490 points in 456 career games with the Stars, could become an unrestricted free agent for the first time next summer. Jays in action once again, taking on the Rays in about 5 minutes time. We'll join that game in progress following the Gregor show at 6 o'clock. Right now, Dodgers trail the Phillies 2-0 with the Guardians and Twins tied at 1 apiece. Later tonight, Orioles and Red Sox game 2 of their doubleheader. Also the Tigers and Cubs, Rangers, White Sox, and the Marlins Astros. Earlier today, Red Sox did double up the Orioles 6-3 to improve their winning streak to 15 games. Also, Brewers over the Nets 4-3. The Giants helped the Royals 5-4. Diamondbacks all over the Athletics 15-5. Well, the Mariners falling at home to the Reds 5-3. Riverhawks in action taking on Kamloops again down at Remax. First pitch 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Broadway Sportsnet. Owen Newcork will join us to talk some Dallas Stars, and we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You've got a go-to coffee spot. a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Jaffa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is now your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, and wheel loaders. Tough, reliable machines built for any job. JaffaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.507, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halling, Declan Kruger on a warm, lovely Wednesday afternoon. Hope you are having a great day. This is run through the sprinkler weather today, man. Although our lawns are so wet, we probably don't even want the water on. But it is nice, man. Get to the outdoor pool. Outdoor pools right now, unreal. So it is hot. It's going to be hot again tomorrow. 30 degrees. Tomorrow they're calling for, so hopefully we can stay off some rain for a bit, get some heat to dry things out a little bit for everybody would be nice. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, we are live here at the Quarry for the Mark Spector Golf Classic in support of Sports Central, which does a fantastic job of getting families and their kids into sports. It's great. And we get now to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And they are hiring. If you're an operator, pipe layer, top men, top women, they got it all. Check it out at gsconstruction.ca. As Spec joins us now. Spec, how you doing, my man?
Doing great, man. I want to thank you for coming out to the tournament today, Jay. It was awesome having you there.
Oh, hey, man, no problem. Well, I'm still here. I outlasted you again, just like Friday night. It's kind of what happens here. So.
Guilty.
So,
Guilty.
yeah. Do you guys know how much you raised today yet?
Yeah, we raised, I would say once everything comes in, we're at $150,000 for Sports Central. That puts us at, we've had 13 tournaments, and we are now at about $1.8 million we've raised for Sports Central. We're going to try to kick it up and make that whole 200 G's next year, but really, really thankful. Jay, you know how it is, how hard it is to raise money right now. It's groceries are expensive, gas is everything's expensive, man. And to bring in $150,000 for an organization like Sports Central, we're real proud of that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You should be. That's it's fantastic. I know the crowd was fired up. You had Mean Gene here doing the auction. You couldn't, you kind of squeeze in a great day for golf. It was really hot out, which is okay, but with all the rain and everything around it, it was kind of some luck to get a nice day of weather to golf.
Oh boy, how about the quarry? Like, shout out to the quarry. With the weather we've had, I mean, the water table is about 6 inches below the ground right now. And when it rains, like, there's nowhere for water to go anymore. For those guys to put together 27 holes today, that 27 good greens, 27 fairways that were all playable, like, good for everybody at the quarry, man. That was yeoman's work, my friend, yeoman's work.
Yeah, very true. Spec, there's lots of, there's some alumni for the green and gold that were here, some alumni for the Edmonton Oilers and others. And just talking to some of the alumni, like, you can just see there's, a little bit more pep in the step of the green and gold alumni now that their team is back to being competitive again.
Oh, for sure there is. And, little things, right? Like, you're proud to be a former Elk or Eskimo. And I mean, you always were, but it's just a little easier when the team's holding up its end of the bargain, right? I had a long talk with Dwayne Mandruzak today, Jason. You know Dwayne. I've known Dwayne for pushing 40 years here. Like, this guy is the walking Edmonton Eskimos history, like the vessel of history for the Eskimos and Elks. And he's back in the fold. He said to me today, he said, these players today are coming to him and saying, so tell me about what it was like when you won 5 in a row, and what was it like when Warren Moon played here, and tell me a story about how it was when they used to put 57,000 people in the stadium. And, like a guy like those stories got to get told, right? They can't die. They can't just pass away and we lose them. So bringing back Dwayne and putting him in that dressing room with all the current Elks players who want to know what it was like back then, right? Warren Moon played here. What, are you kidding me? I never knew Warren Moon played here. Well, yeah. Not only did he play here, but he was part of a team that won 5 Grey Cups. So it's really cool. There's a real renaissance going on there, and I think our city and the football team is so much better for it.
Yeah, it is. It's long overdue, and you read about the psychology of pro sports teams in markets and what it matters to fans. And obviously, Edmonton went to some dark days way back in the 90s, and they even had the decade of darkness, and fans came through it. And obviously, even though they've been heartbroken by 2 Stanley Cup final losses the last few years, it has made them much more enjoyable, I think, than watching the decade of darkness. No question. You still got McDavid and Draisaitl for at least 2 more years, probably longer. And if you have them on the team, there's a chance every year. And really, as a fan base, all you want is a chance to look and say, okay, like when the season begins, I'll say this: the Edmonton Oilers will be top 8 best teams in the NHL. They're a legit player. They're a legit cup contender. Now, whether or not they win the cup, so much has to happen. Are they healthy? Yada, yada, yada. How's the season go? But when the season begins, make no mistake, the Edmonton Oilers are one of the top 8 teams in the National Hockey League. It's just how it is. So looking at the Elks quickly, and they got some roster moves. Boyko's in, O'Donnell's out, Mechie's in. They have Johnson starting at half for them, as Williams has lost his gig, at least for a game anyway. Mogensen comes back in, so they're getting a little bit healthier for them, which is key. But this presents a huge opportunity here for Edmonton. Like, what, all you got to do is split, and you're 6-2. And everybody's going to be super excited about it. But there's also a chance you could sweep them. And that possibility, like imagine winning the game, in Regina when you're in first place and they're chasing you. Like, man, I can't remember the last time the Elks could have won a massive game in Saskatchewan.
No, and I think we're entering sort of the second phase of the season. Like when we looked at the schedule, back in whatever, let's say February, whenever, I think it comes out in February, doesn't it? You looked at the first 6 games and you said, you know what? That's a pretty friendly first 6 games. 2 against Ottawa, 2 against BC. I think, if you do well, you can get through that thing and be like 4-2 and really on your way. Like it was an opportunistic start, but I think the schedule maker gave the Elks a nice way to start their season, and awesome. They're 5-1. They totally took advantage of it, Jason. They didn't squander any of that stuff. Good for them. So, okay, so great. So that's the first 6 games of the season. Well, guess what? It's an 18-game season. Now we get into the middle third, and those tough teams are sitting there waiting for you. It's time to play Saskatchewan twice in a row. I believe they play Montreal and Winnipeg in this middle third here. They got some tough games. And you know what? Now it's time to say, okay, we've had our maybe lesser opponents. That's great. Everybody gets them. We're not the only team. Everybody gets them. We beat them when we played them. Now let's step it up. And I don't see, why can't this team take a step, right? Why can't this defense that's allowing less than 20 points every night, why can't they do the same thing against Saskatchewan? Like I see no reason. I'm not telling you they're going 5-1 in the second third of the season because it's a way tougher third. But you're right. Why can't you go 6-2 and take it from there?
Yeah, why not? Just see where it goes. Spec, do you think Robertson and Dallas, is this just the start of a long-term relationship, or is this the beginning of the end with a 1-year deal at $12 million?
I don't know. It's a really interesting sort of a bellwether, a canary in the coal mine. Like Dallas is one of the teams everyone wants to go to, right? Texas is a no-tax state, no state tax. They're a really good team. We all know that Jim Nill is one of the best, smartest GMs. Dallas is good every year. Like, who does Larkin want to go to when he says, I need a trade? Well, Dallas is on his list. So it's very interesting, Jay, to me to see Robertson's hanging out for more money and all that. He's already in Dallas. Like, why does he want out? And what's it? Does Dallas have to pay him like he's some free agent? You're supposed to want to be in Dallas. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Is Robertson just basically a guy that just a mercenary? I just am going anywhere that'll pay me the most money. I mean, he turned down Seattle.
Yeah, I can't see that. Yeah, he turned down Seattle.
Right, he turned down Seattle. He's in a no-tax team in Dallas that wants to give him a ton of money. Like, I guess I'm asking you, what the heck does Robertson really want here?
Well, I think he wants to go long-term in Dallas, but they didn't have the money to go more than 12 right now. But next year, the cap goes up by $9 million and Sagan's contract comes off. So could he get his $14 or $15 million next year? I think very, very, very possible that it could happen. And I still, though, think Dallas has in their mind a number in their head that they don't want to go above. Now, the salary will keep going up. So maybe his next contract, he gets 13. Who knows? Or 14. But right now, they didn't want him to go that high. And guess what? Dallas got what they wanted. Jim Nill has been sitting on $12 million for 3 months, Spec. And he got $12 million. So kudos to Jim Nill. I think he knew what Robertson wanted to be in Dallas. And he said, okay, like, I'll give you 12 million reasons to stay. And ultimately, I guess that was enough. Now that he's there, like I look at the Detroit Red Wings, and to me, the whole focus of the remainder of the offseason is bullseyes on Detroit. What do they do for their GM? What are they going to do for Dylan Larkin? And their new GM, I'll tell you right now, their new GM should be looking at Jim Nill and be like, okay, this is how you manage. You don't let the inmates run the asylum. Just can't do it.
Oh, I totally agree with you there. I mean, listen, it's a tough spot when your top guy like Larkin says, I want out.
Yeah,
like it's not easy. I'm not telling you that you just snap your fingers and deal with that, but the hard thing for Larkin is he's the first line center on Detroit because they're not a very good team. I'll tell you, bring him to Edmonton. Which center is he in Edmonton, Jay? He's a freaking third line center in Edmonton. You know, he's not better than the top two centers. On a championship team, on a really good NHL team that has a chance to win a cup, Dylan Larkin is a second line centerman. That's what he is. He's not a first line centerman. Like, he's been the 1C in Detroit for how long, and they can't get over the hump. He ain't taking them there. So yeah, this guy wants to go off and be a 1C, and he thinks he should be that somewhere. Well, guess what? He's not. And trying to get a proper trade value for him is really difficult, because the GM bringing him in is saying, I'm not giving you what I give a proper first line center, because that's not what he is. So it's tough. Detroit's in a bind here. I guess I'd say this to you in closing. They got to figure this guy out. He's going to become a distraction. He's kind of like Tkachuk in Calgary. Either you got to sign him or move him and get him out of my dressing room. I don't want a guy around that just wants out all the time. That's just bad for business, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so for sure. Mark Spector joins us here.
A guy who's better than a guy who thinks he's better than he really is. I think that's probably half our problem here. Because there'll be something to that, right? That's fair. Going quickly to baseball spec and put your manager hat on for a second.
Okay. So the Jays are obviously out of it. We all know that. Like they can't hit for a lick. Like, season over. You've got the trade deadline comes up on August 3rd. So 2 weeks. Well, actually, no. Like, what are we, like 10 to and not like 12 days away from the trade deadline. It's Monday, August 3rd. So if you're the Blue Jays and Kevin Gausman's a starting pitcher, and you probably can get something decent for him. But then if you still feel that next year you're going to be competitive again, then you're looking for starting pitchers again. So what would you do if you're Toronto? Do you look and say, hey, let's talk to Gausman, see if he's interested? Like, people say, trade him and then revisit it in the summer or off season. Sorry. You could do that. But would you sign Gausman rather than trade him?
Well, the first thing I always say this, Jay, in every league, in every sport, we talk about trade him and sign him again in the summer when he's a free agent. And I'd say to you, how many times has that ever happened in any sport?
Exactly.
Almost never. So that, to me, like, I come from the show me state. Until that starts to happen, I think that's a fairy tale. So forget that part of it. I'm not even going down that road. I guess I have to talk to Gausman's people. First of all, I'm making an internal decision. And do I want Gausman next year? And I think if I do, then I'm talking to his agent right now. And I'm saying, look, here's the deal, pal. Either we sign or we trade. But I'm not waiting until this summer and losing you for nothing. So I guess you got to take a stand as a GM. And you got to say, it's like Connor McDavid a year from now, right? I can't lose you for nothing. I wish I could keep you. But if you're leaving, I got to get something for you. And I think that's where Gausman stands. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I'll be very interested to see what they do. Guys like Varsho and Springer, I don't know, like Springer's age. I think at some point you got to get younger there. I think they'd like to get a good leadoff hitter if they could. So we'll try to search for that. Spack, have a good day. Enjoy a patio beer on the deck for all your hard work today. I appreciate it. And great job raising $150,000 for Sports Central.
All right, Jay, thanks for being a big part of that and helping us all year long, doing an auction for us every year, man. You've been a supporter of our tournament ever since I've known you. You're an old friend. And thanks to everybody out there, whoever gave $1 to Sports Central or pitched in or did anything to help, man. We need everybody's help, and it's been a real good day. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. That's Mark Spector, $150K raise today. That is outstanding stuff. 5:20. Take a quick break. We'll go to Dallas next. The scuttlebutt. We'll find out. Owen Newkirk covers the Stars. What's next for Robertson? Is this the easiest path to get to a long-term deal, or is it just an option and the negotiations will continue on starting in January? We'll find out on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
The Brick's 55th birthday bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses, or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses, and don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in, the birthday bash ends July 29th at the Brick, saving you more.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Ooh, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on a wonderfully warm Wednesday afternoon. Oh my goodness. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. The Toronto Blue Jays have a lead after 1 inning. You know why? Because they have the guy, Braden Fisher. Do you know what his ERA is in the first inning this year? 0. Do you remember the other Jays starters, like 13, 6, 8? No. He comes on the mound and boom, hits him out. And the Jays, Lucas walks, Guerrero gets a hit, and then Springer is able to, with 1 out and a runner on third, pushes it towards first base and they score a run. Small ball. It's wild. It's wild. It actually works. So we will have the Jays game after the end of our show, so you can listen to it. Who knows? Maybe the streak starts tonight. I'm kidding. You never know. Who thought the Red Sox would win 15 in a row? You never know, but it's pretty low odds, I would say. Very, very low odds. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's and summer today. This is the day, man. You're walking around, you're hot. Get the McDonald's app, download it, and you can get $1 cones. Oh, those are great every day, but they're even better when it's 28, 29 degrees. So stop in at McDonald's. And hey, speaking of a great day, I'm assuming it would be a great day when you sign a contract for $12 million. That's what happened. Jason Robertson, a 1-year deal for $12 million with the Dallas Stars. He will become an unrestricted free agent next July 1st if he doesn't sign a contract extension before that in the 2027 calendar year. From DLLS Sports, we are joined by Owen Newkirk to talk about that signing. Owen, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
First of all, Jason, it's a pleasure to be back. And I want to tell you that you have a great producer in Connor, because I got caught up trying to whip up 2 different things at once and lost track of what the clock was. And all of a sudden I get this text that says, hey, will you be joining us soon? And I went, oh no. So give Connor all the credit, because I usually don't forget this stuff. So he got me. But as I connected, I heard you talking about my Red Sox, who I had written off last month as just an atrocious team. I shouldn't even bother to pay attention. And 15 wins in a row. They got another one tonight. I mean, okay, it feels like house money that the Sox are good now, because the first 2-3 months of the season, they were so bad. We just went, well, better luck next year, right?
Yeah, no, they have turned it around, tie a franchise record, longest win streak, and they could break that record tonight, which is a wild, and really kind of came out of nowhere, because you're right. Like, no one
completely
were going to be good, and they've turned it around. So Jays fans are hoping maybe the same thing, but it's hard to have a lightning strike twice in the same season. I'm assuming, Owen, that you and many others who cover the Stars are like, oh, thank God. Because I don't know how many articles, how many questions you've had to ask over the last 12 and a half months about Jason Robertson and a contract extension with the Stars. And I know Jeff Merrick and I on our podcast months ago, Jeff was like, hey, I heard that Robertson's asking for 14. The Stars are counting with 12. And at the end of the day, it sticks at 12. So what did you make of a 1-year deal at $12 million for Robertson?
Okay, deep breath. We got a lot to get to here. First, on the content side, as you well know, yes, it is a beating to completely repeat the same thing over and over again. However, when not much else is going on and you have to do daily content, especially about the Stars, as our show is, the DLLS Stars podcast, it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving, especially when it goes from just the same story to all these NHL insiders throwing out rumors. Some of them may have been true, some not. We had the obligation to report them regardless. So in some sense, with the Stars' way too early exit, similar to the Oilers this year, a team that expected to go a lot farther, we had to cover the month of May with no Dallas Stars hockey. June, okay, Stanley Cup final, draft, free agency, you can get into that. We had an extra month that we didn't have a year ago. In fact, the last 3 seasons when the Stars went to the conference final, it sounds like, the well-to-do complaining about the temperature of the salad fork. But it is also nice to have a national storyline that we get to report on pretty consistently when you're looking for content. Okay, that aside, yes, we're thrilled to be done with that. And here's what the crazy part. 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago now, the Stars got knocked out in the first round by the Wild. I still make the claim that if they were fully healthy, Roope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, Miro Heiskanen, Tyler Seguin, that could have been different. Take nothing away from the Wild. They're a very good hockey team. We looked at the offseason news and it's, okay, Robo's an RFA. He's going to command big money. Here's the problem. The Dallas Stars don't have the cap space to give him the market rate. And there were a lot of people saying, well, you can't pay him more than Mikko Rantanen. Mikko's your best player. And I say, well, no, that doesn't matter anymore. There was a time in the NHL where you say, okay, the benchmark is this guy, nobody gets more. Well, look at the Oilers. Connor McDavid is not the highest paid player on the Oilers. That's fine. But you can go percentage of the cap and say, give him the same percentage that Mikko got. Well, now that's 13 plus. Or next year, it's going to be 14 plus. That's okay. It's not saying that Jason Robertson is effectively a better player than Mikko Rantanen. It's just market value at the time of the deal, right? That's okay. So the problem was Dallas had already locked up just about all the other members of their core except for Robo. And it was just his turn, right? And everybody else had gotten theirs. And now they don't have enough space. They can't give him 14 for 8 years. They don't have the space for this season. Next year, Tyler Seguin's $9.8 million comes off the cap, and the cap goes up another $9 million. So now they have roughly $30 million in cap space. You want to give him 15? You want to give him 17? Leo Carlson's 18. Who knows where the limit is? They have flexibility. So at the beginning of May, I'm floating this idea on our show going, how do you possibly get Jason Robertson and his representatives, Andy Scott's his agent now, to agree to a 1-year bridge to basically get past this season when things open up and then give him a long-term deal? And everyone we talk to on the show and to others go, yeah, they'll never go for it. There's no way you're getting a player of that caliber and his agent to agree to take a 1-year deal and assume all that risk. Well, as it turned out, the only way this worked is because he was an RFA. The Stars did explore trading him. It didn't work, and I'll get to that later if you'd like. And they were facing arbitration. If they didn't have arbitration, Jason, this one drags out through the summer into September because the RoboCamp deservedly wants market value. And the Stars say, yeah, we want you. We want to give you that. We just don't have enough money to give you right now, or we can dress 9 forwards every night and see if we can win hockey games without a full group. It only worked because of this arbitration showdown. And here we are. I floated this idea almost 3 months ago, and there was no one that said, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not saying it was my idea. I'm just saying if they could only leap that one season, they could make it work. But we all said, yeah, that'll never happen. And here we are. It happened.
Yeah. Well, that to me was where my next question is this a guy who, hey, I like it in Dallas. I want to stay in Dallas. And this is what, hey, like $12 million isn't chump change. I don't feel disrespected. And I know that there can't be handshake agreements per se, but it can be easy to connect the dots to say, hey, Jay, this is what we can pay you this year. And next year, look, the cap goes up. We got extra cap space. You know what? If you'd want to be part of the team, we'd love to talk about it then, or however you word it. You know, I know, like, to me, there's nothing illegal about doing this.
No.
If both sides agree to it, I don't really have much of a problem with it. I know the NBA is looking into the Gary Trent Jr. contract right now, but the difference was he was taking a league minimum deal and then got bulked up to like $16 million. If Robertson goes from $12 million and then gets a multi-year deal at 14, no one's really going to go like, oh my God, that's totally crazy. So in that theory, it does make sense for the Dallas Stars. You mentioned injuries, and I think Edmonton was in the same boat with Anaheim. You know, McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, Henry, you know, all 4 centers, 2 of them not playing, the other 2, you know, playing with injuries. Clearly wasn't good. So if you look at the Stars, now you got Robertson and you got Rantanen and Rupe Hintz and Wyatt Johnson. Where do you feel Matt Duchene fits in on that team? And what do you think Seguin has left?
I have learned long ago not to rule out and bet against Tyler Seguin because he's taken a lot of abuse in his body over his career, right? And come back from all of it. Every time we talk to him about injuries, he is a glutton, not for punishment, but for getting in the gym, putting in the work, the grind. He loves the grind. He loves the process of doing what you have to do to get on the ice in the NHL. It's a little harder now for him, or a lot harder now than it was when he was, say, 20 or 21. But he's such a great pro. I don't think he was always like that in the beginning of his career, but it's something he learned and matured from. And he's coming off the ACL. He's in that time frame where September's not unreasonable, and that's what everybody's expected. Jim Nill spoke today at the practice rink in Frisco. We went in to talk mostly about the Robertson contract, but he also mentioned that, you know, all these other guys we talked about, the Hintz, the Rantanen, the Heiskanen, and he said, Tyler Seguin's on track, just like he said at the end of the season media availability, on track for training camp. Not ruling out the possibility that they might take their time with him, but I think they're expecting him to be there. To answer your question, he and Matt Duchene have great chemistry together. And we were having this debate on our show earlier today, me and Craig Ludwig, of do you go with the pairs, which is very common for NHL coaches, because you have Rantanen with Wyatt Johnston. They've been a pair for a while. Robertson with Hintz, Duchene, Sagan. Those are pairs that have been really effective. And then do you sprinkle in guys that may or may not be top 6 guys, Justin Ritzkovian, Sam Steele, Jamie Benn, and kind of sort of fill in the pieces. You say, well, I don't know if they really want this guy in their top 6 or this guy here or this. But because of the salary cap constraints, this is where you're at. The Stars are loaded down the middle. They've got like 8 centers. They don't have as much depth in high-scoring, high-skill wingers. No disrespect to the bottom, the bottom 6 guys, but they've got a lot of those guys, and they're missing a few on the top 6. Ever since they lost Mason Marchment, they had to let Mikael Granlund go again for cap reasons. They just haven't been able to fill that, especially on the left side below Jason Robertson. And Luds had a great comment about it. He said, I think that if you're on the road, Glenn Gulletson and his staff can use those pairs and spread them out and make it really hard to match up. But if you're at home and you're controlling those last changes, he just wonders if that might be the time where you see Jason Robertson jump up with Johnston and Rantanen, kind of top heavy that. Maybe you put Rope Hintz with Duchene and Sagan, although Matt Duchene in the last couple of years has looked great at center, hasn't necessarily looked great on the wing. So this is an imperfect roster, but it's a very, very good roster. But some of the pieces, it's something that we'll see. Here's my thing. The Stars, and I think Edmonton's probably in the same boat. The Stars are a better roster right now going into the season healthy than they were against Minnesota in the first round because of the injuries. They are not better because of any additions they made, just because of health. And then they're kind of leaning on some of the young guys taking a step, and guys like Thomas Harley, who did not have their best season last year, getting back to the level you expect.
Lastly, do you see any newcomers coming into the lineup in Dallas this next season?
I mean, injuries always can possibly create opportunity, but right now, no. Contracts make rosters these days, and the Stars have to send probably R2 Huru through waiver. He's waiver exempt. They have to send him down, and one more player to get below the cap. They're about $1.3 million above the cap with the Robertson deal right now. Within the rules, they can go up to 10% over, no big deal. But for that season opening roster, which will be 3 or 4 days before Dallas's season opener, which is October 2nd, they don't start until a couple days after the league gets going. They will have to do a couple of moves. And, we talked about injuries. Somebody gets picked up and, picks up an injury. We hope you don't, but in training camp or in the shorter preseason, then maybe you don't because you have LTIR, you can use that kind of stuff. But as it is right now, the roster is what they have. They don't have any room unless somebody gets hurt and then you have a guy called up or whatever. And look, maybe somebody has a great camp, but as Jim Nill was talking about today, you only have 4 preseason games this year. It's going to, the toll is being taken by the young players because they're not going to get as many games to maybe either see where the level is at the NHL or maybe show out and maybe earn that spot they otherwise wouldn't have been slated for.
Awesome stuff. Great breakdown, Owen. We appreciate it. We look forward to it. I put the Stars in the same boat as Edmonton. When the season begins, I think they're both teams will be in the top 8 teams when it comes to people who consider a Stanley Cup contender. Now, the season has to play out and then injuries and everything out. But when it begins, I look at the Stars roster and I say they're one of the top teams in the NHL.
Well, Jason, it's always a pleasure. I'm with you. It's a sort of a hoping for health because if they stay healthy and you have some of the breaks your way, pretty darn good team. But like everything, depth can be tested. The Stars have some good young players that can help, but I don't think they have as much depth as they had maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago. The first year they played Edmonton in the conference final, which was 24.
Yeah,
that was probably a more loaded roster than they have right now. But doesn't mean they can't be good, but maybe not quite as deep.
All right. Owen, great stuff, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, Jason. You too.
There you go. That's Owen Newkirk joining us from Dallas. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Cam Tate will wrap things up in the 2-minute warning on the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's
I
app.
work in this
Download and
business.
registration required.
I see a lot of people doing their
Not sure
job.
what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from
Jerry
enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered.
It
Evolve
moved me.
Wheels and Tires.
I wouldn't tell you to
premium wheel
remember, didn't
specialists.
believe it.
Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
This summer, cheer on your
I'm
favorite
Cam
teams
Tate.
at Sully's
Sports
Bar and
1440.
Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. Plus, Sully's Big League menu has it all. Small bites and big bites, game day food and drink features, something for everyone. From the gridiron to the diamond, this is the place to catch all the action all summer long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament, Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drink, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's grads and help graduates shine on graduation day. Sign up at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
546. Welcome back, Jason Gray. As we wrap things up, big thanks to Everett Taylor and everybody here at the Quarry for being generous hosts for us today for the Mark Spector Classic, all in support of Sports Central. They raised over $150,000 today, which is going to get a lot of kids into sports, which is massively important. And it's not just sports. Like, they have bikes and everything else. Just a lot. Like, think about it when you got that first bike. Man, I still remember mine, man. Out at the farm, I called it the Blue Bullet. It was unreal. Blue frame. Now, being a farm kid, you had to learn to ride your bike. So, but there was no training wheels. And there was a gravel driveway. And I still remember, had shrubs all down the driveway. And I still remember vividly, I'm doing awesome. Then lose control, right into the bushes. And it was rose bushes. So a few scrapes, but still get back on it. Man, like, just the freedom, even out at the farm, of having a bike was unreal. And then you get into the city and all of a sudden you're just like, okay, bye. I'm going to see my buddies. You know, I don't have to, it's not going to take me forever to walk there. I can get on my bike. It's unreal. So I love that the fact that they, you know, part of Sports Central is giving bikes to kids and just that freedom and that opportunity. You know what? You feel you belong, you have some fun on your bike, and away you go. So the Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, and they give back lots of the money. All the revenue comes and stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca, fixing roads and many other things. So that's awesome too. Now, today would be the first day, Connor Halley, that I actually, because Cam Tate's here down at the Spec Classic, and he was sitting right across from me. So I was watching Tater make the 2-minute warning, and I can tell you what the struggles when you see like Struds try to comb his hair That was similar to watching Tater trying to write his article today, because, he's trying to talk up the ladies, and then he's trying to, have some food, and then he's doing it, and I was dying. It was unreal. So let's get to the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. And days like today, baby, I hope you got it. LegacyHeating.ca. Here is Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning.
I work in this business. I see a lot of people doing their job. And then every so often, you meet someone who just gets it, who cares in a way that changes how you see things. That's Jerry Stevenson. I'm asking you, and I mean really asking you, to remember his name, Jerry Stevenson. Because what he does, it's not about the highlights or the stats. He finds the human part, the part that actually matters, the part that stays with you. And honestly, it moved me. I wouldn't tell you to remember his name if I didn't believe it. Jerry Stevenson does absolutely amazing work, incredible work. Hot conditions and even hotter competition at the 13th annual Mark Spector Golf Classic. The tournament wrapped up Wednesday at Quarry Golf Club, where four groups finished tied for first place, all at 11 under par. A fantastic finish on the greens, but here's what really matters. This year's event raised $150,000. That brings the 13-year total to $1.8 million supporting Sports Central. That's the power of community coming together, one swing at a time. The Mark Spector Golf Classic. Sports Central takes used sports equipment, however smelly, into a bin. A big bin. It takes a volunteer to rummage through that bin. A volunteer you understand. And he does so twice a week, silently. But he represents everything Sports Central is. Their name, you ask? Jerry Stevenson. 2-minute warning. I'm Cam Tate. Sports 1440.
Jerry does fantastic work, as do many people involved with Sports Central. So, and hey, it takes, as I say, it takes a village. And when you look at what Sports Central has done, there's so many people behind the scenes, in front of the scene. What about the people that just fix up the bikes, right? And I know there's lots of people that are retired that just volunteer their time, and people drop off bikes, and you know what? Maybe it needs a new chain. Maybe, the tires are bent, whatever. They've got guys and gals in the back there that are unreal and fix up all these bikes. And you know what? They repaint them, and then they drop it off. And for that child, that's like a brand new bike, and it's a brand new opportunity, and it's the ability to fit in, and it is awesome, awesome stuff. So I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Cougar with you. Conman's going to be running the show tomorrow, as I have an engagement that I need to be part in. So the Conman will have, I think he's going to have a special guest in studio at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Anything else you got planned, Conman?
Definitely going to go out to Saskatchewan, talk some Rough Riders at the Elks in action. And then you know what? Hey, might have to call him a favor, see if Eddie Steele wants to hop on and get the green and gold perspective. Of course, a guy who played in the league, obviously covers the league very well with Elks Nation. So, yeah, we'll be doing that for sure. Looking forward to having Declan Kruger running the things for 5 questions as well. He always makes it a lot of fun. And then I get to sit back on the round table, right? I get to let the other guys see what they want to come up with. So looking forward to it. And, hey, we'll be glad to have you back on Friday in studio. But it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow on the show.
Yeah, no, it will be great. And, looking forward to helping out tomorrow. So everybody have yourselves a wonderful Wednesday evening. Enjoy the heat. Enjoy the shade. You know what? Now's the perfect time of day, man. It is awesome. So have a great one. Let's get to Connor Halley, a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. If you are looking for quality professional work, get it done at Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives. Here's Connor Halley. Have yourselves a great night.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, Jason Robertson sticking around with the Dallas Stars for one more year, signing a one-year deal, $12 million. He could enter free agency next summer if a new contract is not signed. In 456 games, the forward has 490 points. Major League Baseball tonight, Jays are in action, taking on the Rays right now, tied at 1 midway through the first. We'll have this one for you on our AM feed immediately following the upcoming commercial break. Elsewhere, Twins beat the Guardians 7-3. Phillies have a 2-1 lead over the Dodgers in the fifth. Red Sox at home, trailing the Orioles 4-0 in the second, at risk of their 15-game winning streak being snapped. And in the second, in Atlanta, Braves on top of the Padres 1-0. Later tonight, Tigers up against the Cubbies. Rangers host the White Sox, and the Marlins get the Astros. Earlier today, it was the Brewers getting by the Mets 4-3. Royals down the Giants 5-4. Rockies at home losing to the Nationals 8-0. Diamondbacks all over the Athletics 15-5. Mariners losing to the Reds 5-3. And in a thriller, Cards over the Angels 1-0. In town tonight, Riverhawks hosting Kamloops once again down at Remax Field. First pitch set for 7 o'clock in the WNBA at halftime. The Liberty leading the Sky 48-46. Mystics have a 1-point lead over the Aces in the second quarter. Later tonight, you got Fever and Sun. Wings taking on the Fire, and earlier today, Sparks fell to the Mercury 86-82. Lynx over the Storm 86-76. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, if you're streaming Fox Sports Radio, you're on the AM dial. You got Blue Jays and Rays currently tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the third. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
In Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free